Take it back. Do 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 do. Take it back.
Take it back.
Do 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 do. Take it back. What's that, mate?
I don't know what that is.
What's that song?
And for anyone listening, that's the third time you cunts have done that.
So listen, this is a boxing podcast, and Sam O'Reilly doesn't know what do 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 do.
Take it back.
I don't know.
I've been told by
Do 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 do.
people, and they all.
He's getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
I have zero clue what that means.
Well, don't worry. It's only the most significant moment in boxing cinema, but whatever.
Boxing
Do you know what I mean?
cinema.
We'll tell him at the end.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's from that piece of shit film Rocky now. You lot are
Oh, terrible start.
great. Listen, it's a great storyline. Shit film.
Terrible.
Anyway, this is the Fight Talk podcast.
It's something because David Hayne, you don't like it.
He turned it down. I heard. So, yeah. What's happening, Richard? You've cycled 18 miles to be here today, son. It's much appreciated. You don't really contribute a lot, but you're good to look at
I don't really watch boxing, do I? So
Not
I just
really.
turn up and just talk shit.
and sing irrelevant songs.
Sing,
and-
say, talk shit. Take it back.
I'm just going to randomly just put do-do-do-do's in like the whole way through.
You know, like on videos and stuff, where people are on these YouTube channels, they have like a background tune.
Yeah,
I feel like we've just found ours.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
just randomly in the background.
Whenever there's a transition from subjects, like when we're going from card to card.
I mean, but I kind of need to know what exactly it is.
Wow.
It's got to be Rocky, right?
Wow, couldn't say.
It's probably somewhere in Rocky. I've seen Rocky in my entire life. Was there 5 films or 6 films now with the Creeds? Probably seen 2.5 films out of the lot one time, and
You
I
really
thought
ran
it
away
was
with
dog
this
shit.
Rocky thing, didn't you?
Is it not Rocky?
Oh,
I don't care. Is the truth?
Could be Southpaw.
could be Southpaw.
That was shit.
Could be Cinderella
can't-
Man.
Could be
Cinderella.
Creed.
Could be Creed.
Could be Creed. I wouldn't watch that shit. That's
Could
embarrassing.
be The Raging Bull.
Could be. Good fun.
Best boxing film ever was the Mickey Ward one. What's it called?
The Fighter.
Fighter.
Fucking great
Could
film.
be from that.
It's not. It's definitely not from that. $1 Million Baby was alright as well. That was
$1 Million
alright.
Baby was good. Enjoyed that. What other ones was there? There was Hands of Stone, the
Never saw
Junan
it.
one.
I
Oh,
never
load
What
of
about
shit.
Bleed for This?
Yeah, it was alright.
I love Vinny
I like
Paz. Yeah, I thought it was very good.
I like that actor as well. He's good, isn't he?
Yeah,
I went to the-
Miles.
He's in Whiplash, isn't he?
I went to the
Good
showing
film.
of that in London with a load of the boys, with a load of like
Who invited you?
boxers, and
The cheeky bringer.
Cheeky brought me along. Do you know what I mean?
Shout out Cheeky Grant, the man with the most Instagram posts on the planet.
Are we going to do a proper intro? We've done 2.5 minutes of talking bollocks.
Go on then, do
Yeah,
your
on you
thing.
go.
This is Sam O'Reilly with the Fight Talk podcast. Richie's here. We've gone over that. Craig's also in the building.
Yes, yes, welcome.
Not hungover today.
Not hungover, not quite drunk yet, but
It's early.
we're in the process of doing that. Shout out anybody that is listening to the podcast. Still taking memberships from the Craig Scott fan club. We're almost at full capacity, so hit me up.
What's the number?
Wow, irrelevant really. Fans,
I don't wanna go into it.
Fans are fans.
Yeah, man. What's it? 3 weeks? 3 weeks since we've done this.
Must be.
Scheduling's been a little bit
Was I at
difficult.
the last one?
No,
No,
we
you.
had
Stag do weekend.
Dan Aziz.
Dan Aziz was on it. Oh, throwing body shots and that.
Ugh.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah,
I
man.
remember that.
Poor Craig's ribs are still
I'll
bruised.
do that.
But yeah, we had a couple of bank holidays, some nice weather, so yeah, kind of took a back seat to the podcast. But we're back. We're back giving the fans what they want,
Yep.
which is apparently singing. Du-du-du-du.
He's got it. He did. He knows how to do it now. If anything, we've educated.
Thank you very much.
How are you, mate?
I'm alright, mate. Honestly, like obviously, people that follow me on Instagram would have seen what happened last night.
Jesus.
So we went to this. I'm doing air quotes when I say boxing show, right?
Event.
Event. We're going to talk about it in
Oh,
detail.
is it going to be like that?
It's a little bit bad,
It's going
Rich.
to be a bit like that.
It's a bit bad. But yeah, coming onto the M11, I went back, mate. Tyre's gone, blew out. Rear tyre blew out.
And you knew straight away, didn't you?
Yeah, one of them ones where you think there's no way, it can't even move a fucking half a mile. It's gone. So the tyre blew out, and Craig and I, are we men of the world?
Well, we changed the tyre on a Range Rover at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and it's a 3-ton car. We jacked it up 3
Yeah, by the
times.
sounds of it though, what you put on Instagram, you've lifted it up and you've tried to take the bolts off while the wheel's spinning around.
No, what happened was
Yeah,
Right,
that is
alright.
what happened.
Alright.
That is what happened.
if you're
because
gonna
you
get
said-
technical,
you said-
that might have happened.
You came here on a fucking bike. What do you know?
That kind of happened, yeah. But then we jacked it up again, and we'd done it on the step of the car, so it was on plastic. So when we moved the wheel, then the car moved. The whole car moved, and the jack was at an angle.
Yeah, it was weird.
So we had to do it again. Finally found the jacking point, and it's well underneath the car. So you're trying to turn a fucking wrench, It weren't fun.
Nah.
It weren't fun. Paul Craig's pink trainers are currently in my washing machine.
I guess
These are supposed to be men, by the way, just in case anyone
It
knows.
got done. We got home.
Craig and Scott are guys.
Craig and Scott.
What did I say?
Craig and Scott.
Craig and Sam. It's been a long ride.
Listen, we made it. We changed the tyre. We
Yep.
got there. We've still got dirt under our fingernails.
We are
My
man.
pink shoes are in the washing machine.
We're so manly. My pink shoes are in the wash, the dirt under my nails.
Just a shout out to those amazing police, traffic police that stopped.
They're shite, please.
They stopped to say, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "So you got flat?" "Yeah." "We'll just sit back here till you're finished." So why did you even come here?
And then I spoke to the guy and went, "So what is it you guys do then? Do you like take people to like a safe point or collection point?" "No, we don't take passengers, mate, and we don't help with any."
He said, "But we can call a recovery that will charge you 150 quid."
I did a speed awareness course. They sort of told me about stuff. They can be like traffic controlling and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yes.
for people like you guys that get flat tyres, technically you're supposed to stop in the lane if you're on a smart motorway, as they call it, exactly where you are. They will come along slowly.
Can you imagine I
cut
left
down
it in
for
the
you.
fast lane?
That's
That's
the
mental.
thing. That's what they say.
Is it?
Yep.
Why were you on that call stretch? Was it to avoid being penalised like a driving licence?
Something like that.
Or
yeah.
just voluntary? You just felt like doing a speed awareness
I
call?
felt
Just
like
phoned
it.
up,
I just
"Hi
like.
there."
I just
You just
like-
thought
I
one
just
day,
educate
my
myself.
fucking awareness on speed is lacking. I'd love to go on a course.
I need to update my road knowledge, so I thought, I want to pay for it as well. Funny thing is, the guy that was running the course was from the Border Control as well.
Was
The
it?
boxing border control?
Did
Yeah.
he just say, "Go on, go home"?
No, he didn't
No?
actually.
He made you do it?
No, he made me do it.
Little
He
bit.
promised not to tell my manager though.
Did
He was like,
Alec, if you're listening, mate.
he knows.
6 minutes 47 seconds in. We haven't touched on the show last night. Brief recap. I'm so sorry I slagged you off, Mickey Elliott. I'm coming to every one of your shows because that was fucking. Oh, it was horrible, man. It was haunting. It was haunting.
All right, let's sum up the show. It was Joe Pyle show, first show I've ever been to. We were the only media there, us and Brooke. Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah, I guess.
Richie snuck away to get a beer, so we're just
Blackcurrant juice.
blackcurrant juice. Yeah, so we get to this event.
How do I open my blackcurrant juice?
You need a bottle opener, Richard,
Yeah, where?
in the drawer.
This is
Fuck's sake.
fucking carnage.
So right, the main event: Kurt Garvey and Joel McIntyre for the Southern Area Light Heavyweight title. Very good fight.
Good fight.
Really looking forward to
Did you
it.
say Southern Area light middleweight?
Light heavyweight.
Light
I
heavyweight.
was going to say, Kurt Garvey's a big light middleweight.
Yeah, the neck weighs at least 2 stone.
He looks like Vladimir Klitschko after the uppercut.
He's been hit with some whammo uppercut.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
Um,
neck.
So that was the main event, but it was a secret that it had actually been cancelled. And the reason I say this is it wasn't announced on any social media until the day of, and that was only by one of the fighters. The promoter never actually announced it. So you get to the into the event, into your call, and then the little guy, what's his name? The little fucking MC geezer,
David Bassant.
Dave, that's the boy.
Something
Yeah,
like
he goes, just he goes,
Just to let you know.
just to let you know, there's a bit of a scheduling change. The main event isn't happening, but on with the show. Literally how it happened. They just
I was
sort
in the
of
bar and there was like
breezed over it.
Kurt Garvey fans in the bar.
Was that worse than the time when AJ Carter knew he wasn't boxing before a fight
Yeah, and went there to apologise.
and then
got in
turned
the
up
ring.
just to apologise?
Yeah, I remember that. Dove box, wasn't it?
Was that worse?
That's weird, isn't it?
He knew a couple of days before,
Do you
apparently.
know what's brilliant? AJ Carter, they did a hashtag fear the return of AJ Carter. That was brilliant.
How ironic that he should have feared it.
Yeah.
Last night was weird. They glossed over the main event being cancelled, which is really strange. There was like no promotion. We were talking to shout out Jordan from Portobello PR. He says that Joey Pyle's got people who do like PR and media
That's
and
what he
stuff. with
said,
him.
yeah.
Where are they doing it?
Didn't Danny
I have no
Connor
idea.
sign a little deal with
I don't know, mate.
No idea.
Power recently?
I don't know. It was the strangest event. We spoke about this just before. We worked out, so there was 8 fights, and one of those was by Adam Barker and O'Shane Clark. So they would have both sold tickets, right? So that's 9 fighters selling tickets. If they'd done 50 each, it'd been 450 people in the building. There was no more than 250. At the very most,
So including
250.
you two, though?
Plus us two, yeah.
Oh, plus you. So
Plus
250,
252. Yeah, but we don't pay for tickets. You know how we roll.
So I guess we can't really complain then.
Yeah,
People
it
probably
cost
listen
me
to-
one tyre. No, I can complain. Cost me one tyre. I've got a family. I could have been here watching Pirates of the Caribbean with these lot, couldn't I?
Good film.
I've never
Good
seen
film.
it and these lot watched
You
it.
know, it's a good film.
What? Take it back.
Fuck off with her. Yeah, no, you can complain. I mean, you and me had a disagreement about one point. You said to me at one point in the show, no, was it after? You said, but do they have a responsibility
Yeah.
to put on a good boxing show?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I don't know if they do. It ain't televised. It's barely promoted on Twitter.
It's
for
a
fuck's
boxer's
sake.
choice. If you put on a terrible show, I could turn around to my manager and go, that's a terrible show, I don't want to go on there.
Yeah.
It's the promoter's like, well, listen, if you're not going to sell tickets, I'm going to make money, I'm going to do it.
He didn't make money.
But
Listen, yeah, but
In
that
general.
wouldn't have been the plane going in, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
But not forget about the boxers and stuff like that. But for the consumer, for people who are there to watch it, buying tickets and stuff like
Other
that.
than the fight they're going to watch, though, who's there to care
That's
about the
my
audience?
point. That's my
But
point.
you're never going to grow an audience like that.
So for me, I wouldn't go on a show like that because I wouldn't want to sell that to my supporters.
Mhm.
But not all fighters will be like that.
But as a subject, boxing as a subject, you're never going to grow the sport like that. So what we're saying is, if you sell 400 tickets,
Are you doing-
400 folk roll in for your fight and fuck off again. The sport doesn't grow that way.
Yeah, no, I understand. But,
Because you fight once every 2 months, or once every 4 months, or 6 months
Who-
if you're
Who's
injured.
going to sell 400 tickets and go on that show?
but whose responsibility is it to grow the?
If
to grow
you
the
could
sport?
do it, contact Joey Pell because he needs those tickets sold, man.
Yeah.
That was dead
They'll
last
give you
night.
an 80-20 deal.
Yeah.
Oh, the sound system. Oh, Jesus. So every time the fighter came out, it was like they were being sung, like the music was underwater. It was like, it was blurry. Oh, man. I was like, if I'm a fighter and this is my entrance song, I'm
I was
about to
hoping
get
you should do
pumped.
more of that song then. You sort of stopped. I was like,
That, yeah. A
Yeah,
couple
it
of
was
people
really
like that.
weird.
It was bizarre. It was like when you're in the bath, you put your head underwater and there's music on, and you're like, what's that? You can just about hear it. That's what the music was like. It was like
that's how you
some.
play that as a game.
It was like someone went. I do on my own every day.
Right, go, play!
Oh God, it was just like a Joey Pyle show.
Did I get it? Did I get it? Do you know what it was like when you were like 19? I had my first Fiat Punto, and I turned the music too loud on my shelf. You know the shelf speakers everyone got.
Yeah.
I turned it too loud and it got a bit fuzzy and blurry. That's what it was like. Absolute dog shit sound system. Horrific. And I know people might go, it's only a bit of sound. It just adds to everything. The fact that the top upstairs balcony was closed. They never let anyone up there.
Wow, that ruins your call.
But you know what?
That's the
See,
place
see if
to
they
see it.
see if they fucking opened it, it would have ruined it even more, man. It would have been like
One
I
person
don't
in that
know. It
corner.
was it was really weird. It was a weird night, wasn't it?
It was a very strange.
Oh,
No one
yeah.
knew what was happening. There was no running order.
If
No
the
running
boys ain't
order.
really sold tickets, who's covered the opponents, promotional bill?
Mhm.
Have the fighters all paid? Because if they've all paid, he would have still made money.
Mhm.
But would have all them fighters would have they paid? I
Would he? Would he still make money? Because if they only sell 40 tickets or 50 tickets,
What I mean is they will have to say yes, pay the opponent 1,100 and the house a grand.
yeah, but
when
he
he-
might not have made money if they only sell.
When he creates the show, unless he's dumb as fuck, he will work out right. This many fighters, if they all pay me a grand, I'll make this much. I've got to spend that money on the venue, the judging. This is what I've got to spend the money on. This is what I'll make.
Yeah.
So if 4 of them fighters turn up and they say, "Oh, I haven't sold my amount of tickets, so I can't give you a grand," they should. This is the worst. It's one of the bad side of boxing, but they can turn around and say, "Well, you owe me this much money." Technically, the house money is due a promotional bill. If you can't cover your promotional bill, you can't be on the show. So technically, if he chose 8 fighters, a grand from each of them for the house, he should make 8 grand. That's not 8 grand profit. That's take away bills, as in the venue, the judging, the ring hire, music. He should have worked that out. If he hasn't worked that out, then he's a fucking moron, for lack of a better word.
Fucking moron.
So if everyone's turned up and sold a quarter of what they're supposed to, what he thought he was
can't-
gonna,
it can't have
if he
happened,
thought he was going
Rich.
to bring 8 grand, he's now bringing 2 grand. The venue probably would have cost him.
I'll be honest. Even the guys that fans were the loudest, they looked like they had a crew of 30 or 40 people, didn't they?
I don't really. Richie's so happy. He just managed to do some maths on the fucking.
Listen, I don't watch boxing. I never contribute too much, do I? I just sit there and throw out shit comments.
Now
in
he's been
there.
watching Countdown and thinking, fucking.
It was really weird, and what I thought was weird was I bought a program. I know. I can hear you laughing through Twitter.
How
I
much did you
bought
pay for that?
£3, Rich, and it was for charity.
Didn't
And
say
I
what
Oh,
charity.
that's okay.
No, they did. I actually asked what charity, and they just mentioned like one of Joey Pyle's relatives, which I think is legit, man. So fucking fair play. I'm happy to buy that. But the content of the program on the card, on the fuck off.
He was almost too mean there.
Yeah.
Don't villainise me.
You bought it back.
But But when you look at the card that's in the programme,
It's 5 fighters that never fought.
main event's off, obviously, which was going to bring in the biggest ticket sales you would expect.
Just can't sell tickets.
Well, I don't know. He's Southeast Clapham. I think he's got quite a big fan base, to be fair. That's off. You're supposed to have Pink Tyson. Was supposed to be on the bill. That's off. Supposed to have Nick Jenman on the bill. That's off. Who else?
Nick Jenman's fighting in 2 weeks.
Well, that's what.
Well, he was on that programme last
in
night.
the programme, he's in there. I can't
It's just
remember.
random
They
names.
They just added him in there. Yeah, he was never supposed to box.
He
on
was
there
there last night.
There's
Yeah,
just
he was a
random
spectator.
names on the fucking
He was
on the
floating
programme, man. It's very strange.
It's possibly the strangest atmosphere I've ever been to at boxing. It just felt like at any second it could kick off. Like
Yeah.
the crowd of people in there, they weren't. I don't know. Maybe I'm. Do you know what? All right.
How much were tickets to watch that?
Oh, God knows. But there were some really, really, really bad home fighters on that. The first guy got beat up convincingly, battered.
Yeah, I wouldn't have matched him with
I
Bailey
wouldn't.
Demetz.
Ashley Bailey Demetz turned up, couldn't miss with a right hand. What was the kid's name he beat?
Mitchell Preedy, I
Mitchell
believe.
Preedy. Do you know?
Oh, actually getting a win. That's nice for actually to get a win.
Yeah, he won 39-38. I thought it was a 39-37, but yeah, either way,
He's underrated and he's alright.
he is.
Actually.
Obviously, Tay and Linus, he's had 2 tough
He's
fights.
not a journeyman. He just loses, all right.
I don't think he's a journeyman.
I
He's
actually
a
did my
tough
debut
fighter.
the same night as him, and he wasn't never planning on being a journeyman.
No, I don't think he is.
Sam
I
Wall
don't
in his
think he
first
is.
Fight, and just Sam Wall's not an idiot, and he came to win. Again, he's an away fighter. Sam Wall doesn't often win, but
Yeah, I think that's the same with Ashley Bailey Demetz. I think he's an away fighter, can't sell tickets. You don't want to be in a 4-rounder with him.
there was talk of me fighting Ashley at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd be big for him, wouldn't you?
he actually went up to super middleweight.
Oh, he's up to
Yeah,
super.
no,
Oh, he's small, isn't he? It's
He's
weird.
short.
He's
Yeah.
really
he said,
short.
He said like middle, and I said, listen, we'll do it at middle to make it easier. And he was like, all right, yeah, cool. And he come back about a couple of hours later and was like, actually, I'm going up to super middleweight. And I said, we'll do it at super middleweight then. And then nothing came of it.
He's we gave Tay a hell of a six rounder, wasn't it?
6'8". It was on a Dove Box show.
Well, I actually thought Tay was going to smash him. I remember talking to Tay about that, and I said, I thought Tay would do well to not stop him.
We gave Tay a hard time.
He was a good fighter, yeah, and he gave Linus a couple of bit of trouble before Linus put that beautiful shot together.
Slept him, didn't he?
Oh
Yeah, he
God,
did.
man, that was beautiful.
But I think Linus is a very, very special fighter at small court at this moment in time. So there's no shame in that either. Actually, Bailey Demetz is a good fighter. Don't put him in against your boys, and that's the problem. I would never have matched him with Mitchell Preedy. Never in a million years.
The boy, Mitchell Preedy just can't hit.
He couldn't hit. He
doesn't
couldn't
have any
keep Demetz
power.
off him. Couldn't keep him off him all night.
Yeah.
There was some other really, really bad home fighters. Don't even know their names. Just horrendous. That boy that was warming up for 4 hours behind us, standing on the stage.
The
Warming
blonde
up
bomber.
yeah,
With the Del Boy Chisora mask
yeah,
on.
he copied that. His name was
Blonde bomber.
The
yeah.
blonde bomber,
Does
mate.
that
and he drew with a journeyman.
Does that
A
work?
big fucking mask on like Del Boy. Or
Yeah.
Does that work?
No, it didn't.
Blonde bomber. It's like you're not sure if you're a bad boy or a.
Or
pretty
a
boy,
model.
yeah. So he drew
Yeah.
38 each with this guy.
Oh, did he draw, did he?
Yeah, 38 all with the journeyman. Yeah, just really bad, man. Like
Yeah, but listen, as bad as you say this show is, what I've heard so far, there was a couple of away wins, a couple of draws. Sounds to me more like it was a actually fairly matched show.
Yeah, it was fairly matched, like shit v shit. Very evenly balanced.
Very evenly balanced though.
Yeah, that first fight, Mitchell Preedy and Demetz, I really
How many
enjoyed that
shows
fight.
have you been to where you can just go right?
Home
there's
versus
gonna
away.
be,
Yeah.
There's gonna be 15 blue corner wins.
red corner wins.
Whatever.
You always get them mixed up.
Whatever. You're not part of that. Stay
I
out
am.
of
I'm
this.
in there. I don't care. I don't even know what film it's from. But yeah, no. Listen. Truth be told, Louis Adolphi was the main reason we ended up going after the main event was pulled.
Yep.
I'm a Louis Adolphi fan. I don't give a fuck who knows it. I think he's a fucking.
Keep up.
Have you done another?
It's my second one.
There's not going to be enough left for me. Selfish
Like there was
bastard.
ever.
You're only in my house, you can't.
You can have the rest of my set.
Yeah, Louis Adolphi. I think when you see him box on that
Some
show,
broken tea bag.
you go. You didn't take the tea bag out.
I didn't make it. You did actually.
Oh
mate.
yeah. when you see Louis Adolphi on that show, you think he shouldn't be on this show.
I said that.
Last fight was on the World Boxing Super Series, and obviously he had a bit of controversy. People were still, the middle finger up thing might not have done him too good. I still believe it was a fair shot, whether people disagree or not.
I thought it was.
When the World Boxing Super Series did a throwback of it on Thursday, loads of comments, scum, ridiculous. And a couple of people were like, I seen the ref say break. He didn't say stop boxing.
He clearly said break, didn't he?
Yeah. So listen, there's always going to be that controversy. Don't know how he lost the fight out of a disqualification. I thought it should have been no contest, if anything. irrelevant now. It's done a long time ago. Goes from that to this show last night, and you think, wow, there has to be someone in the middle that wants a bit of a Louis Adolphe. Do you know what I mean?
What weight is he?
What did he fight at? Welter?
Yeah, maybe 147.
I couldn't hear the weights announced because of the fucking sound system.
He no, he looked good last night. I thought he looked very controlled. Put his man down 3 times. Went to points, which is good because it was 6 rounds. So I think he was obviously just looking to get the 6 rounds in as well. But he put the guy down 3 times. He was controlling the range beautifully.
Finish him at some point.
Slick, moving in and out of range. Picked his shots well. I thought he looked really good.
Yep.
Thought he looked in good shape physically. And he seemed, when we were talking to him and speaking to him afterwards and beforehand, he seemed very composed and relaxed. And seems to be in a good place.
Yep, definitely. There's a couple of questions that are kind of on that on Small Hall itself. As where is it? Jordan asked. So, pod question: what makes a good Small Hall show? Is it the atmosphere, the production, the venue, the fights? What would you say makes a good Small Hall show? Rich, you as a boxer.
It can be a combination of everything, really, because the good example, and they stand out above everyone, I think, is Goodwin. Despite some of his matches, and sometimes they can have red or blue corner, whatever corner it is, a lot of wins come at the same corner. And the same with Lee Eaton show, both of them know how to put on a great show, whereas everyone else around them is always just below them. Them two are just above everyone. They have a little bit of everything. It's all decorated nicely, it always looks the part, the entrances look professional, they look smart, good sound systems. They're all organised, but the main thing is, I think the presentation makes a big deal. So when you walk into a venue, if you look around and it's sort of just a ring and a couple of chairs spread out, it looks like an amateur show. And you walk into one of the Lee shows or even Goodwin show, and you walk into a Goodwin York Hall show, you can see the big backdrop behind. They've got a walkway where the fighters are going to come down. You're not allowed there. There's separate areas. It looks professional. It looks neat. The fighters get made to feel the part on their ring walk. The same with MTK, with Lee shows. When you walk out, there's lights, there's this, there's that, and it looks the part. You got a nice. It all looks the part. Whereas some of these other ones at York Hall, they come out in the corner, to the corner of the hall, and sort of walking through crowds of people.
That's where they came through last night.
It's not. Doesn't look professional. Doesn't feel professional. Don't make anyone feel special or watch special. And anyone watching probably looks at it and just thinks it's just like going to a white collar show.
Yes. Can I ask you then, Rich? I'll put you on the spot a little bit. You have had 7 fights.
Yep.
Have you fought for Goodwin?
I've boxed on one Goodwin show.
And has there ever been an opportunity for you to work with Goodwin on a promotional deal?
We haven't asked. He hasn't asked. It's just not.
But if you make money the way you make money now on the shows that you fight on, and you know how it works for you and what ticket deals suit you, to fight consistently on those shows with a professional backdrop, looks good, better promotion, would you consider taking a little hit on the money for the professional aspect and the way that you might guide your career, or would you rather just make a little bit more money and fight on lesser shows? I know you fight on MTK, so I don't mean that.
No, I know what you're saying, right. I totally understand what you're saying. The money part, I don't look to survive off my boxing money, so yes, if someone said to me, right, Rich, you can make a little bit less money every time, I'll be on better shows every time, I would take that every day of the week. But I do sell a good ticket, so I kind of can jump on any show that I like. For example, I'm looking at the shows at the minute for the rest of the year. I'm hoping to get on a Steve Goodwin show and an MTK show and another show which could be either of them shows. So the advantage I do have is having good support. I can sort of, if you sell 2,500 tickets, you can go, Steve, can I go on your show because there's no spaces left. A space just came available for you.
Yeah.
They can always fit you in. But if I was signed to Steve, for example, I might get some opportunities. If you like.
Yep.
Because he's now doing some things with bigger shows and
he does a lot of southern area wise and works closely with the board on different bits and pieces. But I often wonder,
I wouldn't want to get signed out of being MTK though, so I have a great relationship with MTK and Lee. I wouldn't want to get signed
but he lets his fighters fight on there, right? Adrian Martin, Mark Little,
he does
fight on MTK.
Daryl Church boxed on one.
Daryl
Church might even be on another one, or
do you know what,
I think he is actually.
Yeah, he is. He's going to Grays, I believe.
This is the first time I've sat and spoke about it. It might be an idea of something for me to think about, because Goodwin seems to be just breaking out of Small Hall, if you like.
I think he's a level above the London guys.
He's medium, if you like. He's just between. He's not quite there, but he's not
Agree.
quite.
Yeah.
He's stepping above. But then, if Steve Goodwin goes up, I think MTK is the top dog. Then.
Yeah.
Who else is competing with him?
Well, it'll be interesting to see what their show looks like in York Hall, because we've only seen their shows at Brentwood, haven't we?
Yes, that's a good
point. And the shows at Brentwood look good. in the Brentwood Centre.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting to see how they transition from there to a different venue.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I'll give Lee a lot of credit. Lee's good at what he does, and I think it will come out.
Oh, he
nice.
is. You know what he is? He's a fucking salesman, isn't he? He's like a little.
I know what you know what he is.
He's a mini hern, isn't he?
He's
He's a mini hern.
He's good at it.
He's got a lot of passion though.
Yeah.
He loves what he does. He
Yeah.
loves what he does.
He does. No,
You know, Lee has earned thousands for charities as well.
Yeah.
Every year he does or he was doing charity shows, charity events.
Yeah, cancer
He's
charity
given
is very close to his heart, so obviously
yeah,
he's
given thousands to him as well.
yeah, massive fair play to that.
So despite some people may or may not like Lee because he's come out of nowhere and obviously probably upset people that have been in the game for a while.
Probably,
He's come out of
yeah.
nowhere, but it's because he's passionate and cares about what he does.
He's ambitious, man. You have to be ambitious.
Yes.
But I think it'd be interesting to see because the reason I say the yacht call thing, we go back to the backdrop that Goodwin's got. He's put money into that thing, that big rig with his screens.
Does he use
and all
it
that
every
stuff.
single event now? I don't know if he used it last
He
Saturday.
used it the last
Has he
one I
rent
was
that
at.
or has he bought that?
No, that's
No,
his.
That's his.
I think that's his kit. I don't know. Might be wrong, Steve.
I believe it is because when the Haymaker took it, there was talk of it, but they wanted to do their own version.
But my point is, a bit of kit like that costs a fucking bit of money.
Some investment.
So MTK go in there. Obviously, they've got money, MTK. But it'll be interesting to see how much they invest in different venues.
Have they got money left after paying you for that night of media?
Shout out to Love Island.
They've got it sussed, haven't they? The news that I think that a minute ago. But
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that show. That's on the 13th of July at York Hall. Larry Eckendale against John Fane.
I might be commentating on that one.
Yeah. I'm coming. It's the little man's 9th birthday, so Lee said, yeah, bring him along, man. I'll set him up. So, yeah, we'll be going to that. You didn't answer it. What do you believe makes a small hall show?
Apart from having me on there, obviously.
For me, you're always somewhere. For me, the biggest thing that gets me when I go to small hall boxing is atmosphere, right? Obviously, you want decent fights, but atmosphere is the biggest thing for me. So we went to Leon McKenzie, Chael Renda. We spoke about time and time again.
It'll never be matched.
But the atmosphere that night was something I've never experienced in boxing before. Like big hall, small hall, medium sized hall, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess to get that atmosphere, you have to have the right fighters, and you have to have some of the right fights on there. But that's the biggest thing. You could have the best fights in the world if there's an audience like there was last night, spread out across an empty venue.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel the same, man. So
I mean, that night, like the stars aligned, didn't they?
oh mate,
It was just everything was perfect
so
for that.
good, man. It was so
I
good.
think that's the single greatest night of my boxing following life, you know.
Joe McIntyre got stopped off Liam Conroy as well. Like they were just the fights were good.
Very good.
The atmosphere was unreal, man. You didn't go that night, Rich, did you?
No, I didn't. I still haven't seen the fight with Leon McKenzie. I want to see that. He's doing a film or he's done a film.
He's
and
doing it,
it's
yeah.
got apparently the whole fight's in there.
Is it the whole thing?
Or if it's not the whole fight there's a
There'll
lot
be
of
highlights, I'd imagine. It was like, would it go 6 rounds, 7?
Not 10.
Was it in the
It's
was
10.
It stopped though, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
it was short of.
Yeah.
Was it the last round it was stopped?
I think it was the last round.
Southern area, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Southern Area super middleweight.
Close though, wasn't it?
He's still the champion, isn't he?
Cello hasn't fought since. No one would give him a chance, would they? Crazy.
Sam Stokes was talking about boxing for that.
Some Stokes will get blown away.
Yeah, Cello would have him out.
But yeah.
You're right. It's got to be a perfect little mixture of everything. Like there has to be some level of atmosphere.
Yep.
Richie's right. I want some level of production when I walk in at You want to walk in and go, I'm at a boxing event here.
It looks
There's not just a
professional.
ring in the middle. I
Sound
want a
like
good
it.
sound system. Apparently, I didn't know it was
When
a
I-
question
when I was
until
in the
last night.
amateurs, when I was in the amateurs, this was what made the difference. What the amateur boys used to watch and think was the difference between the amateur and the pros. In the amateurs, they don't always come out to music. And everyone might think now that all the pros do, but they don't always come out to music. You do get some shows that are a bit ropey, the music is stop-start, it's not great. Like last night, the sound system wasn't great. That can make a massive difference in a show.
Yeah.
So in the amateurs, you didn't always come out to music, there was never lights. All things like that make a big difference. A few lights flashing when you come out, bit of music, a dark room, the light on the fighter walking down, all that makes such a difference, I think. Obviously that with a good audience there.
Yeah, it's a bit of everything, isn't it? Got to be a bit of everything. Like, I want the security to be security.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Because you got guys walking around last night in a vest saying, "Oh, can you not do that?" And the guys are going, "Yeah, no, I am." They just walked past him. It was so unorganised in places. It was just, I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on. It wasn't very good. And if you look what you want in a boxing small hall show, probably the opposite of last night.
For me, there's a reason that these guys aren't promoting many shows.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like Joey Pyle doesn't do a show every 2 months or every 3 months or every month or whatever else. that's the first one I've been to. It's the first one I've really known about. So there's a reason those guys are not as frequently involved, and I don't know whether it's because the risk of losing money is something they're not willing to take in order to build a stable or build a brand, if you like. But you know, these guys need to step it up, man. Even guys like Elliott, Tommy Dove, when he was doing it, they're far away from MTK and Steve Goodwin.
Tommy
man.
Dove's first couple was not bad, you know.
The Crystal Palace show I went to was alright.
One I did at York Hall, the first one I did was quite nice. There was a bit like Goodwin. We had screens come up with names, music, everything.
Yeah.
The only thing on the first show, or the first couple of shows, wasn't packed in there. Wasn't quite enough people in the room. Outside of that, Tommy did really well on his first couple of shows.
He was kind of over ambitious, wasn't he, Tommy? Like
at the start.
Yeah, and then the money runs dry, didn't it?
Cool.
So
If he could have kept funding and kept going, it could have potentially.
Maybe you should try what Hennessy does and just start up again with a different variant and get another loan out. Or
there's only so many times you can remortgage.
yeah,
So
I guess so. Further question. I say further. Have I even done a question yet?
You've done one question.
Done one. Question from Martin Theobald, who handled last week's New Age Boxing podcast on his own tremendously well. Terry Chapp is wasn't even missed, to be honest with you. I thought Martin was stupendous.
I don't know. I thought it was too polite.
Yeah, it's true.
I thought they were missing some irrational statements about race and other things that they could have added. But that's just my preference.
The first question: the late call off for Garvey versus McIntyre. I don't know the details of why it went, but let's assume it's check weight issues. Given the opponent has done nothing wrong in this scenario, but has to forfeit his training camp, return tickets, etc., should there be a system where the responsible fighter has to compensate in some way?
Richie Gray, when you're finished eating your Maoam, M-A-O-A-M. Remember them?
Who was he fighting? Was it 50-50?
Joe McIntyre.
Joe McIntyre was the away fighter.
Oh, okay.
Good fight.
That's all I wanted to know. Move on.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
That's all I had to contribute. It was a question.
My answer is yes, absolutely. Now whether it should be
Well, that's out of his own pocket then.
whether it should be compensated or covered by the other fighter, or whether there should be some sort of like system in place where there's funds held back from a promoter, or I don't really know how you would make it work. I guess you would have to have, I don't want to say could you have like a boxers union? Hear me out until I'm finished. Could you have a boxers union in line with your licensing fees,
£10 a month,
which doesn't cover your whole ticket sales, but it gives you some sort of expenditure, like some sort of cover for your expenses?
insurance, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but couldn't I just say, okay, Davis Pagan, we're mates. Davis, we'll organise a fight. We're supposed to pull out every now and then. And we never fight. We'll just keep pulling out so we get money.
Well, you could do, but that's pretty well thought out, and I would have to question your motives. Because Davis Pagan would smash fuck out you anyway. So.
You're a bellend.
Shout out Davis Pagan.
Fuck you, Davis Pagan.
The Pagan Army, aka the Tommy Robinson Army. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Very patriotic, Davis.
He's very patriotic. Fucking, he's not got a tattoo of Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
What a guy.
He's very patriotic.
He
Davis.
is intense, man. The nicest guy in the world.
I've got a Richie Gray tattoo.
You do have a Richie
I
Gray
know Richie Gray
tattoo.
tattoo, so much better.
Davis,
You should go around. Dave's having an entire pub built in his back garden.
Is
what?
Sorry, a gym.
I mean,
a gym.
I've got a bar.
Yeah.
But
So he's having a pub and a gym. So it's like.
How much is Lee paying? Oh no, who's this fucking Jesus?
Anyway, Davis,
Stay out of the pub and stay in the gym.
when's last orders?
There isn't any.
Let's go back to the question, eh?
What was the
Oh,
question?
yeah, sorry, not Davis's pub. Sorry.
Should there be a way to compensate? I mean, in an ideal world, yes, but how would that work? So, Kurt Garvey has pulled out or been told he can't fight or whatever the surrounding issues are, but obviously Joel McIntyre loses out on a purse that, as the away fighter, wouldn't he have been paid a purse? Because he didn't really have to sell tickets. I know he sold a few,
But was Garvey even the home fighter? Is
Yeah,
Garvey a
but-
Joey Pyle fighter?
I believe so.
Two neutrals in there.
I believe he is. But McIntyre is a Goodwin fighter, right?
I thought it was just a fight, like
I
between
mean, it was
two.
definitely going to be a fight, yeah, but... No, I know what you're saying. It's quite a strange one.
Because I went on Garvey's profile.
Because there's no
doesn't-
social media build-up. No one knows.
Garvey's profile doesn't mention being a Joey Pyle promoted boxer,
No.
so I thought it was just a good scrap that he maybe won the rights to.
Won the right sword, just thought, wow,
Won
they
the
were
purse
conveniently
bid
ready
for.
at that time.
Yeah, it's possible, but for whatever reason it didn't happen. It's not Joel McIntyre's fault. We don't yet know if it's Kurt Garvey's fault because could it be a check weight? Could it be one or two other things?
It's medical related, is all I'll say.
Let's hold our. We get told one or two things that.
Were you about to say let's hold our tongues there, and I've just went, it's medical related.
Yeah, let's say it's medical related. But
his leg fell off. His fucking leg fell off. All right, he couldn't box.
I'm sure it'll come out whether it's something more substantial than a check weight issue. It'll come out, but whether or not something can be done to make sure that.
Why are you scared to say it? Because I don't know what it is.
Because you shouldn't say that if that's not true.
I don't know what it is.
No, but we'll tell you after. But if it's not true, then you shouldn't be saying something like that.
Okay.
But if it is true, yeah, because if you're saying something like that,
yeah, I get you.
Do you know what I mean? It's not. You can't say that about.
Accuse someone of something that's not true.
Exactly. So let's let the truth come out.
And he's a very good fucking boxer.
He's a very good boxer.
Anyway, it'd be in an ideal world, it'd be lovely if there was some sort of compensation available, whether that's set up through a promoter, whether it's set up through some sort of union or foundation or board or insurance or whatever else. I'd be very interested to see. In fact, Rich, you'll know. Obviously, I work in a bank and we deal with insurances and businesses and people who are registered self-employed who have liability insurance. As a boxer, do you have to register as self-employed and file your own taxes for your own money?
Cut.
Richie's just sliced his neck.
I have no idea. My accountant deals with it all.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's the words we looked for.
But it'd be interesting to see why there's no. Why there might be an insurance if you are self-employed and you make your own money.
Yeah.
There's insurances available that would cover you for loss of earnings. So it'd be interesting to see whether that is something that people think about.
So go to your local bank, Joel McIntyre. See what they can do for you.
Yeah. He doesn't live near Hampstead. Yeah, go there. Because that's. I mean, you have that even if you're employed. Generally, you have loss of income. I've spoke to you about it before. There's things out there that can protect you, but then I guess
self-employed and employed are very, very different worlds. Being self-employed, to get something like that, it's hard to actually say what you would and wouldn't have earned, especially
that's
in
the
boxing.
thing.
Yeah.
If you was at, let's say for example, you was working on a site and you're getting £180 a day, and you've got months and months and all years of proof to say that's my wages, that's what I get paid. To be a boxer, you get paid different every time.
Exactly, that's what
different areas. So really, it's, for lack of a better word, unrealistic.
Yeah.
Unless they say, okay, I'll tell you what, you pay us £20 a month, and in the case of you not getting a fight, we'll give you £2,000. If you say, that's just a number, you could say £1,000. £2,000's a lot, but a lot in terms of only a £20 a month deal. But
someone would have to sit down and actually think about this.
The problem is with that, I just think there'd be too many fake.
But the thing is, from an insurance point of view, it's not even about the fake ones. There'd be too many real ones.
Yeah.
For insurance companies to pay out. Can you imagine insurance companies?
There's no way for the insurance company to be bringing in more than they're putting out.
Yeah.
Which is where it wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
Maybe we could do individual private ones, but then you'd have to put in a certain amount before you got anything back.
Yeah, maybe.
But then technically, you might as well just have a savings account for them occasions, because again, they're not going to say, right, okay, you have paid £800, so here you go, here's £2,000.
When did you file your last tax return, Rich?
His accountant does it all.
I did work, didn't I? So it was actually April. Would have been before April, wouldn't it?
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Do you know how I found out about mine? I didn't do my tax return last year, so they sent me a bill for 150 quid. Turns out they owed me 1,500. Well done, government. Well done.
Should have just left you to it.
Yeah.
Well, they done themselves. It turned out it was actually just come up to the new tax year when I got the letter. So I was like, that's bollocks, isn't it? So I sorted all that with the accountant, and he went, turns out, mate, they owe you money.
They owe you money.
Government, great.
Yeah, loads more have just come in. It's non-stop now.
Ooh, Question City.
Question City.
Lou Smith asked one about the...
Lou's sent in about 4 more as well for some reason.
He must be proper bored.
He's just sitting there going, what can I do? Oh, fuck it, I've got another question.
Lou, you can come on.
He's retired now, he's got all his spare time. He's a cross-dresser now, have you seen it?
Oh, beautiful.
That looks good.
Have you seen it?
He's a handsome woman, I'll be honest.
So he likes it way too much.
He's got good cheekbones, doesn't he, Lou?
He does have good cheekbones.
And heels as well. Doing his slut drop in.
Oh, Lou.
Maybe he's given up boxing to
Lou,
pursue his dreams
free
in
tickets
Vegas.
for life. You do the ring walk dressed like that with me. Who would like to see that?
Oh dear.
Who would like to see Lou
I'm
dressed?
still having fucking therapy about it. No, thank you very
That
much.
sounds good.
Let's do a couple of his questions. The first, we've talking about fighters pulling out.
Yep.
And since we started this pod, there's been breaking news that Billy Joe Saunders and Martin Murray is cancelled again.
Exclusive from FightTalk.net.
yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean, it's definitely not our exclusive, but we'll take it. So Billy Joe has pulled out again. It's quite obvious he's chasing the big money fight, the Canelo Golovkin.
Well, he's not scared of Murray.
He's not scared of Murray. It's a bad one because they cancelled the entire event the first time. Was that April?
Yes.
It was April. The entire event got cancelled.
I'll fight Martin Murray. They can pay me, and I'll step in.
Do you think he'd take that fight?
I doubt
He
it.
don't want that work.
He don't need that.
So, are they going to cancel the whole event?
Career.
Are they going to cancel the whole event? Are they going to...
Well, they stacked the undercard, did they not? O'Hara Davis is fighting for the European.
Do you think
Against
they
Josh
planned
Lever.
for this then?
Huh?
If they stacked it, do you think they planned for this?
Good question.
They should always plan for it because they don't... Anyway, one of the questions, the first one in regarding this is Lou Smith. Has Frank Warren really under-delivered since the backing from BT, considering half or more than half of his shows have been pulled this year, despite its success with Warrington versus Selby?
Yes, Lou, you sexy cow. I think too much. I think the BT thing was like a bit. I had a kind of back and forth about this because I said on Twitter the other day that Eddie's announced this big streaming thing and Frank is kind of going with the tried and tested methods and Eddie's more forward thinking and people started going. Some guy from the Nut House podcast, who I will fight single-handedly every single one of those fat cunts, some guy went Heron Addict or like Matchroom FC or something like that. Shut the fuck up, man. So
Yeah, he called you Matchroom FC.
Matchroom FC, fat fuck. So
Why? I don't get it.
because I said that Heron was forward thinking and was thinking of different ways to do business because of this
Haven't you been
streaming
blocked
deal.
off of him on Twitter?
No, I've not been blocked actually.
He unfollowed me, but he didn't.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He only followed you because you made him follow you sitting down side by side, did you not?
Yeah, that's true. It's a true story.
Add me on Instagram, bro.
No, I said...
Give me your phone.
I was like... I sat beside him for a fight. It was one of them ones where O'Hara and Spider fought on a public workout of Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was sitting with him watching the fight. I was like, Eddie, fight talk. And he's like, huh? I said, I'll follow you now. I followed him and was like, is it come up on your phone? He went, yeah, I went, follow me back. He went, alright. So he followed me for like 18 months and then got angry after the Tyler thing and it's all your fault.
Yeah. So I believe Hearn is doing things differently and is always trying to improve, and I genuinely believe, as much as we slag him off and everybody else slags him off, he's trying to produce things for British boxing fans that haven't been done before. And I don't think Frank Warren is, man. Frank Warren's like, he's doing the same old shit. And this BT thing, what's the point in the BT thing? If it hadn't been a BT thing and it had continued to be on Box Nation, would it have been any different? What have we seen on BT that's been different to Box Nation? Fuck all. Absolutely nothing.
Pay-per-view?
Yeah, pay-per-view for a fight where he didn't promote any of the fighters.
Yeah.
So
So Mark
that could have been on another channel.
On this, Mark Evans asked, which one of Frank Warren's businesses is taking the piss more, Box Nation or Queensbury? I guess since neither actually show boxing, at least Box Nation is cheaper.
When did Frank Warren become Queensbury? I thought it was Ross Minter.
Nah, it's all linked, isn't it? Like, the problem is when they get linked up with BT, you think, you know what, this is good. There's going to be money in it. There's going to be big fights. I mean, they've built up Tyson Fury to be this comeback show to be the greatest thing because Tyson's back. But you know, he's fighting the second best cruiserweight in Albania, right? I'm not even mad.
Would you beat the second best cruiserweight in Albania?
I'd take him to points. I'd definitely take.
I'd lose on a split decision.
Yeah, but I'd take. Like, I'm not even mad at the opponent. I'm really not. It's fine. He's been out a long time. I'm not mad. But don't make it out to be something it ain't, which is what they're doing. They're making it out to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. And it's not.
But what's different? Nothing is different about what we're doing on BT Sports. You'd be as well just putting it on Box Nation. There's nothing different about it.
Don't put their undercards on Box Nation.
There's not bigger shows, there's not bigger opponents, there's not bigger matchups. He sent Billy Joe to Canada, he sent Bradley Skeet to Spain, he's sending people all over the world to fight as away fighters when he signed this big deal for this new platform. I don't really get. I don't understand the benefit of having the BT Sports deal, man. It doesn't really make sense to me.
You're right. We were sort of... I was under the premise that there'd be more money in it, there'd be bigger fights, there'd be bigger opponents, there really isn't, is
More
there?
shows.
More shows.
They promised loads of shows,
Yeah,
man. So
there's been none. How many shows they had this year?
Three
Warren
or
and Selby and the York Hall one that I can remember. Maybe there was one more, but we're in June. Like, it's fucking bad, mate. And who knows what's going to happen with this show now? Is it going to be O'Hara Davis against Josh Lever headlining? Is it going to be Who else was on it? There's another decent fight on it, I think. Who knows? It's irrelevant. They've got no main event. Is the whole fucking card going to fall apart? Are they just going to put it on at the O2 Arena with those fights on it?
It'll be Anthony Yard fighting some fucking Italian guy you've never heard of, and then they'll go on afterwards about how he's ranked number 2 in the WBO in the whole world, yeah? But he's only had 12 amateur fights, so we can't progress him too quick. Make your fucking mind up! Make your mind up!
What I'd like now is for Frank to be in the behind the scenes going, you know what? Let's bring Callum Johnson in and fight Anthony. Let's do something. Let's get Frank Buglioni in.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
Let's do something to go, you know what? You tried to bring the card back to a little bit of a respectable standard.
They won't do it, mate.
No,
they won't do it.
Probably not. But the answer to the question is, I think he's taking the piss in general, Mark, to be honest with you. It hasn't benefited at all. His stable have not benefited from this massive jump, a massive platform, etc.
They're just being held at the same level, and there's fighters on the lower echelons of Warren stable who are being treated like absolute shit.
Yeah, I've had a few Warren fighters in the gym, and they say to me, "Oh, I've been getting out twice a year," and stuff like that.
Shite, mate.
Wasn't McNess a Warren fighter,
Yes.
and then he was on MTK last time?
Yep, and he's on MTK next time as well.
Is he unsigned with Warren or what?
I don't know officially,
Listen,
but
Frank, you can't just leave me sitting in the gym all fucking year.
I want to know where Lucian Reed is. I want to know where Lerone Richards is.
shout out Lerone Richards.
Stop sending me dodgy videos, Lerone.
It's a bit strange, the videos he sends you, actually. You
Little
showed me
bit.
a few.
They're quite nice. Richie loves them. But where's Lucian Reed? Lucian Reed had a fight fall through on 5 days' notice in Brentwood in December. We're now in June. Where is Lucian Reed?
He's in a club with Sam Cox, I think.
Oh, and Sonny fucking Donnelly.
They're always hanging out, man.
Jesus.
In the convertibles.
Yeah, big up Sam Cox. Very strange situation with Warren.
I just don't get it, man. But we're all happy to gloss over it because he's got Billy Joe, and Billy Joe's on good form now, or because he's got Tyson Fury, or he's got Carl Frampton, or whatever else. Fine, that's 3 or 4 people, man. And when you look conversely at Matchroom stable doesn't have a lot of stars. It doesn't have a lot of stars right now.
Yeah.
You got AJ, you got Kilbrook and Amir Khan, I guess, are like stars in terms of like worldwide boxing. You got Tony Bellew, who's forced himself into being relevant.
Yeah, very true.
Whether you like him or hate him, he's forced himself
He's
into
done
being a big
such
name.
a good job.
Yeah,
He's done such. I don't care what anyone says about him. Have all your opinions you want. Tony Bellew has done a wicked job. But I'm here. Take fucking notice of me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whether he's good or not.
Yeah,
Forget whether he's good or not.
100%. You
Forget
can't
whether
deny
he's
that.
good or not, or you hate him or not. Tony Bellew lets you know he's here.
Yeah.
But you know, those fighters that are a little bit lower down in terms of priority in Matchroom, you know when they're fighting. You know who they're fighting. You know what journey they're taking.
Yeah.
You don't really know, like, apart from Yard and Dubois, you don't really fucking know anything
Do
about.
you know what I think the difference is? You don't have to like I've said it before, I didn't like the way Eddie was handling Isaac before the Cody fight, and I don't like the way he handles Spider now. However, at least Spider is busy. He fought not long ago. He's fighting on Next Gen.
Give him that last minute shot for a British title.
Which he shouldn't.
he didn't.
He probably
He
shouldn't have.
he didn't deserve it.
And he probably shouldn't have took it. But he's there and he's still getting his fights in. Whereas Lerone is just missing. He can't get a fight.
Does their own sell tickets? Do you know what sometimes I find in boxing? Didn't this happen to that Sergio Martinez, where he was too good for the reflection of what tickets he could sell?
Yep.
That makes sense?
And he used to travel all around the world.
He's fucking phenomenally good, but doesn't bring enough money in to warrant it. So you're going to have to fight this guy. He's probably going to beat you, but you're going to make no money. Or you can fight this guy who you'll probably beat, and you'll make millions.
But do you think
is that the same with Lerone Richards? I don't know what.
I don't know.
I don't know what ticket sells, but he's fucking
exactly
good. And if he's not selling tickets, why would someone want to fight him?
Yeah.
They're going to say, right, you're going to get paid a little bit less than normal, but you've got to fight this guy that's probably going to beat you up.
Yeah.
Do you know what fucks me off? Do you know what fucks me off the most about it? Is we seem to muddy the water between promoter and manager. If you look up the definition of promoter, Rich, look it up, mate. Google it. Look up the word promoter or promote. You are
We're an
not,
educational podcast as well.
You are not someone's manager, right? Sometimes you might be both. I get that. Go on.
What comes up first when I put P on my phone?
Pics of Cheeky Grant.
Yep.
You're a promoter.
Pricks from Fight Talk.
Why are we not promoting these guys that are less like? We're not promoting them. All you're doing is, it seems like you're doing them a favour putting them on these shows. You're not doing them a favour. You are promoting their career. You're not. Alright, well, fuck it. We'll leave them off. We'll do this. We'll do that.
Promotion to you.
Read it, mate.
The word promotion in marketing. Promotion refers to any type of marketing communication used to inform or persuade target audiences of the relevant merits of a production, service, brand or issue.
Excellent.
The aim of a promotion is to increase awareness, create interest, generate sales or create brand loyalty.
Well, that's the most important sentence there.
Yeah.
So tell me when you last heard anything about Lucian Reid, Lerone Richards, any of these guys. You do not hear anything.
Yeah.
And Frank Warren is not there as a manager, he is there as a promoter.
Yeah.
And say what you want about Eddie Hearn, he doesn't do it for everybody the same way, but he'll get Felix Cash in a fucking open workout and stream it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or he'll tell you the story
Dignam
of he'll tell you the story of all these guys, and it seems like a golfing class for me.
Agreed. One more question on Warren. The Tottenham boxing space. Thanks for the questions, mate. He spent quite a few in, actually.
New page, I think.
Yeah, fair play. A few questions. First one on Warren. We'll go
Make sure you follow me, mate.
at Richie Gray Official.
Yeah, that's on Instagram. Probably the same one.
Warren, what are the details of the BT deal? Do we know how long is the contract? What happened to the 40 shows per year?
Was it supposed to be 40?
Oh, there was some talk. I went to the the announcement. I went to BT Tower for that.
You were there, weren't you?
Even that, do you remember Lerone Richards? They had all their prospects on the stage. Lerone was sat down just beside me, and Billy Joe Saunders went, "Hold up, where's Lerone Richards?" He went, "This guy punches my head in sparring. He's one of the best prospects. Get up on the fucking stage." And Frank Warren's like, "Oh yeah, Lerone, come up here." No, mate, the man's a dinosaur. The man is an actual dinosaur. That is my thoughts on Frank Warren. It's as simple as that. You know, I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think the game has changed too much. Social media has changed. The world has changed. He ain't got his grip on it anymore. And who knows?
I think he misses Ricky Hatton and Joe Kawasaki.
I think he misses everyone.
I think he misses being the top dog.
Being the daddy.
Yeah. He's not good at playing second fiddle, I don't think. Is he even playing second fiddle? We just all assume this because he's got a big television platform.
I think he's just comfortable. He ticks along.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
And I think he's got sons that want to be involved.
703, I think.
I think he has 703.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is a factor, but if he's old as fuck, he might just be thinking...
I would go as far as saying the World Boxing Super Series is even bigger than he is right now in this country. Just this country alone. The shows they put on. So last year they put on Callum Smith, Eubank. Eubank fought away. Stop eating fucking sweets.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, Groves
I'm
Cox.
eating vegetables and I'm drinking fruit juice. Don't listen to a word.
Groves Cox. This year we've had Groves Eubank.
Yep.
So they've already done better shows than Warren has done in the last 6 to 9 months. So
that's a good point.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. Hurts my head to think about it.
Don't know how long the deal is, mate. I'm sure we could probably Google it and find out, but I'd rather just Google random words like promoter. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think... Is it? I want to say like 2 years. Is it longer than that?
Didn't they extend it the other week? Like it was only a 2 year.
If he did, they're the worst business people in the world, man.
I'm pretty sure there was something on that it was extended or something. Maybe I'm just making it up, but I don't know anymore, mate.
Is Josh Taylor Postol a better main event than the main events that he's staged this year?
Warrington Selby was a good fight.
That's a good fight.
It was a good fight.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good fight.
What else has there been?
Well, that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
Sent Skeet away to get murdered in Bilbao off a guy with a rat's tail.
Oh, I was going to bring that up.
And well, Saunders was last year when it was December.
Yeah, and that was in Canada, so he didn't even put that on, really, did he?
No,
mate, it ain't good. Let's put it that way. It ain't good.
Gotta do better.
Gotta do better.
Matchroom FC.
That's the 23rd of June, so that's all up in the air. What's going to happen that night? Who knows if if the card still goes ahead, rather. Dave Allen has took a 3-week notice fight against Tony Yoka.
Just the Olympic champ.
Just the Olympic. Dave Allen gives 0 fucks. You know, he gets people on Twitter that don't like him. He's got a hell of a lot of fans. But one thing you can't say about him is that he shies away from a fight. To fight Ortiz on short notice, Dillian White on fairly short notice, now going to fight Tony Yoka. He don't give a fuck, does he? They're good learning fights for him.
Is there... I love Dave Allen. Is there only so many learning fights you can have?
But what's his record, Craig?
Who?
Dave, 12-4?
12-5.
12-4?
12-4, 12-5, let's have a look.
I'm going to say 12-4. So, what is he learning from rematching David Howe in Donny and knocking him out in 3 rounds?
Yeah, but that's not his fight of choice.
It's not his fight of choice. And he's also, the week before, he's fighting Grenadier... What's that geezer's name?
Oh, Lee something.
Lee Carter.
13-3.
13-3. So he's fighting Lee Carter the week before he goes to Paris, who's 1-4. So he's doing learning fights on the complete opposite spectrum, isn't he? Olympic gold medalist 1 week, the week before a guy that just come out of the army and is 1-4. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I respect it, man. 27 years old, 26 years old maybe. He's got to do his learning fights. He's not going to be knocking on the door of a British right now, the way the scene is.
But we spoke about it before. Like he spent a dedicated amount of time building himself back into relevance, building himself up towards that Commonwealth shot, and putting the effort in to make himself look more respectable with his record, have fights that are testing, get in that shape that he was in, all that sort of stuff. And I just worry that by taking this fight, do you just slip back down into irrelevance? Not irrelevance, because he's not. That's unfair. He's not going to be irrelevant. But you've done all that building, and then it seems to me, you know, if you had a really good performance against Lenroy Thomas and won the Commonwealth, or if you had a really good performance against a guy like Dubois or Hughie Fury, but you lost the fight, you go, all right, cool, take that fight then. That's cool, because we've seen what you can do. I feel like we haven't seen what you can do. We still haven't seen what you can do yet, and that's the thing for me. It's all right, learning, training, getting in shape. If we haven't seen what you can do or what you're telling us you can do, and you're taking fights that you're expected to lose, and you might not lose, then is it the smartest fight to take, would be my thought.
That's a good question. I think he's going to get paid well for it.
Very well.
He's going to get paid very well for it. And that bit of money might give him the bit more cushion that he can dedicate a bit more of his life to boxing. I don't know his current situation, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they need a bit of funding and backing to be able to help to dedicate more time to training. It might not be the case, I might just be talking bollocks, but we don't know the situation. Either way, he's going to get paid well, and he's a guy that likes to take tough fights. We all know that.
Can he get in shape for the fight?
Well, he was due to fight the week before. I think he still is fighting the week before.
Doesn't mean he's in shape for that fight. He might be in shape to bash up
Lee Carter
or bash up David Howe again. Is he in shape to go to France and fight an Olympic champion? And can he get in shape in 3 weeks?
Good question. We'll find out, I guess.
That fight is not on his box rec, the Lee Carter one, by the way.
Is it not on there at the minute?
The next fight for him, the only fight scheduled is Tony Yoka, so I don't know if the powers that be have pulled that maybe for the week
Possible.
before.
They may have said, we'll pay you the amount you would have earned on that fight.
They're not going to have an Olympic champion waiting to see if Dave Allen gets a cut.
Very true.
So
it wouldn't surprise me if they've gone, look, here's another couple of grand to subsidise what you'd have earned fighting Lee Carter. Time will tell if it's a smart idea or not. I'd kind of like to go to Paris for boxing. That'd be pretty cool.
Love Dave Allen though, regardless.
Love Dave.
Great guy.
Love Dave. More questions coming in. These are pretty all over the place. There's some ones that aren't really.
Should we just fire through Lou's questions? Let's just fire through all Lou's questions.
Alright. Let's go. Lewis Smith. Fucking lost it now. Now it's just me browsing through my phone for the questions. It's always good.
We can't have all three people sitting there looking on their phones and we're supposed to do a boxing podcast.
Take it back. Right, I've got one. Have some social media platforms abandoned the small hall scene, even though they claim to be with the fighters from the start? Or maybe not abandon the scene, alright Lou, fuck's sake, but prioritise the bigger name fighters instead of fighters who are actually more talented but have less following? Dear Twitter, put him back to 140. That is fucking mental, that question. Lou,
what are you talking about?
let's pass him over. Rich,
oh no, I want to look at I want to read the question.
You have to. It's a paragraph.
That's what I forgot what you said at the start when you got to the finish. Easy, Lou, easy.
What he's getting at is what we touch on most weeks, isn't it? I believe people want to be in it for their own ego, so they want to only interview the big name guys, not the guys that are at the bottom that don't have a following or need help. Do you think
he's talking about Fight Talk podcast, boxing from the
ground up?
Boxing from the ground up, and he keeps interviewing world champions.
Mate, we paid our dues last night going to that fight. We are definitely boxing from the ground up.
What?
So, yeah, I get your question, Lou. To be honest with you,
but I get the gist.
The gist is what we will talk about a lot. The bigger platforms and even the medium platforms and even some small platforms, they're only interested in interviewing bigger named guys because it will do numbers.
I think you have to push your way in sometimes. Does that make sense? So if you're at a show where it's like mixed, say for an MTK show, there might be a mix of fighters on there that they like, and they don't bother about the visiting fighters, if you like. You have to go out your way to get them. Get me an interview. Get me an interview. You're a media platform. Get me on there. Interview me. You got 5 minutes? Oh, I'm busy doing this. I'll wait here.
Yeah.
I think if you know you're not. If I was to go on a Goodwin show and he's got his people that sort of most on his shows doing interviews for his fighters, they're not going to look to interview me.
Yeah.
Not that this is a bigger platform, but they're not going to look to interview me. I'm not one of their fighters. I've got no reason to promote me. I would go out my way to find them. You've got 5 minutes. Can I have an interview?
Yeah.
So perhaps sometimes the fighter should really be looking out for themselves a little bit.
It's a good way of thinking about it.
Like I say, people ask about sponsors all the time. The same with the social media. No one's walking around looking to help you. You've got to do it yourself.
Yep, very true. Do you want to jump in? Because I'm about to go on a rant.
No, go on, go for it.
Start the rant.
Last time we were here, I think I did the big rant. So.
Right. I hope everyone is ready for the rant.
I'm filling up. My Pims.
He actually is filling up his Pims.
Pims with cucumber and mint.
That is a jug, man.
And I'm going to do the whole thing. Oh shit, I'm working tonight.
Take the spoon out, bro.
It sounded like.
There you go.
Hey.
Talking about social media platforms or media platforms and small hall events, I want to take this time in the podcast to dedicate 5 minutes to the worst interviewer in boxing.
Oh, there's another question on him.
Umar Ahmed, UA97, IFL TV. You are a fucking fanny, man. You are the worst interviewer. And the funny thing is, proudly sponsored by MTK Global, do you have any other clothes, or do you just wear IFL jumpers every day of the week? Do you remember when you worked for Raps on TV and you were begging people to go on their platforms, and you were like, "Oh, I'd love to work. I'd love to do this. I'd love to do that." Remember? And now you're IFL, and you unfollowed everybody that you used to talk to, so that you made your follower count look better. And then you have the audacity to go to fucking small hall shows and embarrass yourself on video interviews. You're an embarrassment, man.
Do you not like this guy?
You need to find a new hobby, man. You're asking Dean Richardson about the welterweight world scene because he's a welterweight. Dean Richardson is never going to fight Kell Brook. Why are you asking a question? You interviewed Curtis Felix. Shout out Curtis Felix. You asked him a couple of questions about his career and spent 5 minutes sucking the life out the fucking changing room, asking him about Deontay Wilder and the $50 million interview. The guy's just fought. He's had to put graft in and sacrifice in his fucking training camp for a career he's trying to drag off the ground himself, and you spend 5 of your 7 minutes talking about irrelevant fights that mean nothing to him. You interviewed Daryl Church as well, and you referred to his trainer as the trainer the whole interview. You didn't even learn the cunt's name. Ask his name beforehand. Ask him what his record is beforehand. Go to the toilet, put your dick away, and go on BoxRec and look at his record. It's not hard, man. You've got the internet. You've done the hard bit. Put some fucking work in. You're an embarrassment, man. And you act like you're some fucking big man. Oh, I'm a fucking IFL. Fuck you. Fuck IFL. I fucking...
We ain't coming back from this.
I blocked you on every platform. You're an embarrassment. You're a fucking cringe fest, man. Shout out my bros. You don't even know who the fuck they are. You don't even know who the cunts are.
I actually think you're quite good, mate, to be honest with you.
No, you don't.
I don't.
No, you don't. And I'll post screenshots to prove otherwise.
Yeah, no. I don't think you're very good. I was thinking everything Craig just said.
You make me fucking ill.
After that, we just had an interval for Craig to go and refuel, I guess, because he put his heart and soul into that little mini rant. I think I had a rant a few weeks ago, but that was epic proportions, mate. So well done.
Thank you.
Superb.
That's actually, it's been building inside me for a while, man.
Yeah, it's been hard to watch.
And when I went
Lomachenko and Garcia, was also discussed in some of them interviews.
What are your thoughts on this? My thoughts are get out my changing room.
Yeah, crazy. But let's move on. The Tottenham boxing space, another one. Barring yourself and a few others, When are we going to get UK reporters asking proper questions to these promoters and start challenging their answers? Very good question.
Good question. Probably when they stop getting paid by promoters.
33rd of February.
They stop getting blocked when they ask questions they're not supposed to ask.
Yeah, very true.
They're all scared to get blocked. They'd rather have followers than people that want to hear real questions.
In an
What do you
ideal
think,
world,
Sam?
in an ideal world, I'd like to ask Eddie Hearn about the Tyler Goodjohn situation, but it would never happen.
I don't think Eddie Hearn really cares.
You don't think he cares?
I think you'll ask him and he'll be like, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What, what are you talking about? I think he was just the bottom of his priority list because Goodjohn was never a
top. Yeah.
Was never an Indian fighter, was he?
No.
He just boxed on somebody's shows. He wasn't signed to him, was he?
No.
So I think he'll go, what are you on about? Who cares? I
Yeah.
feel like that might be what he'll think because it's not relevant to him.
The only person I've really seen push Eddie in any way was Rob Tebbett. Did it about? Was it StubHub he did it about?
Yeah.
And he has a very intelligent way of doing it. Rob, he sort of not plays dumb.
He's probably the best.
I'd say Rob's the best out there. Rob Tebbett now working for Boxing Social.
Yes.
Top man, a lot of time for Rob.
The way Rob does it's very similar to how Louis Theroux does documentaries. He makes himself likeable to the subject. He kind of lets himself be sucked into whatever they're saying, and then he will kind of play dumb because then they overextend themselves.
Yeah.
So you go, well, I mean, it's not like this.
I don't really understand how that's happened. Could you just inform me how that's happened, type thing? And they're like, oh, well, and they start explaining it, and they're putting their foot in their mouth.
Yeah, and
It's very good at it.
The easiest thing to do is put whatever your question is, put it on somebody else. What do you think of Richie? What do you think of people who say that? You know, I mean,
You're a cunt.
fairly or unfairly that you shouldn't cycle so much, you know, and then
Yeah.
it's not you asking it, so they don't take issue with
it's
you.
people, yeah.
And he's mastered that. He's mastered it. You know, he pushed Tunde Ajayi on Anthony Yard's matchmaking during the week. Don't know if anyone's seen that. Check it out. They're a wacky pair, they two. But you know, he pushes Tunde on it. He says, "What do you think of people who say that this is a step back from Nikolai Skelcher, that Avalon guy?" And Tunde comes up with these, and you can tell there's kind of like a comfortable uncomfortableness, if that makes sense. Like they're cool talking to each other, but you can tell that Tunde's having to think on his feet and come up with answers, and that's what you want, man. That's what you want. Why?
But no one else is keen to do it for the simple fact. I don't know if you ever. Obviously, I don't know much about you because you're, I think, a brand new Twitter page. So, but I don't know if you're involved in boxing or have been to pressers or anything like that. There's definitely a hierarchy of who Eddie will talk to, and it's pretty much the people that are going to ask him the same questions. He'll say it on Sky Sports. He'll then regurgitate the same thing to Coogan. Then Michelle Joy Phelps will be cackling away like a fucking wild banshee, and she'll ask the same question. And then you might get one or two others do the same question. So no one pushes them because they don't want to lose their media pass, like we did. I wonder if I'll get media for Next Gen on Wednesday.
You won't.
Nah. I've got to work now anyway, so...
What is with these weekday shows?
I'm not mad at the weekday shows
I'm
at
not
all.
a fan.
But I work nights, so I'm kind of mad at it. But in general, I'm not.
a fan.
No?
I wouldn't want to go all the way to London on a Wednesday night.
But what if you live in London? What if you work in London? It's around the corner from your office. Happy days, pop to your call, get a salt beef bagel. Oi, oi!
How many people can fit in your call? Is this where it's at?
Yeah, 1,200?
1,200, I think.
1,200 people around the surrounding area are going to go.
Yeah, 100%. That card will sell out, and it will be...
Sold it like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, but that's also not true, because he said Eddie announced 2 or 3 weeks ago it was sold out, and then Spider Richards gets announced on the card and goes, "Got tickets, get at me for tickets." So,
no, that's not true.
yeah, I think you'll find it is.
I think you think it's not. We can go back and read it.
How?
I think it's
Okay,
not.
let's have it
I think
out.
it's not.
Why is it
I
not?
think I know what he's going to say.
Let's have it out.
Why is it
So
not?
Spider said he was announced on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and he said due to being added late, he has no ticket allocation. And
No.
then a week later, or a few days later, he said 4 or 8 VIPs had come up
So is that
from
is that not?
somebody
Is
else.
that, so he's
It's not
not
his
up from
tickets.
someone else.
It's not his tickets.
Okay.
They're
so-
tickets that have been
That
given
wasn't
up by
that wasn't
someone.
what I was going to say, but I heard the show got sold out and then fighters are buying tickets off other fighters.
Well, that 100%.
Oh,
happened.
really?
That 100% happened. 100% happened.
Fighters have bought tickets off other fighters that have been allocated more tickets.
Yep. There's an away fighter who is on that card who has bought
Well,
75.
to say that, and we can say who it is.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, Paul Upton.
Paul Upton's done it. He's bought tickets off other.
He's bought tickets off of Coley. He's bought tickets
Yeah.
off Felix Cash.
so he can sell them for himself. So he can have his own supporters there.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
If you listen, you've been allocated 50 tickets and you've got 200 people want to watch her.
Is that not better than not like There's still that's like fighters helping each other out, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Cody's not going to shift them.
Cody's going to say,
Yeah.
"Go, it's 50 tickets.
Yeah.
Give me 30 quid for £40 tickets, and then."
Yeah, job's a good one. So either way, there were tickets floating about after it was officially announced it was sold out. Is how I'll reword it. I'll reword it. I'll reword it for your benefit. Fucking argument. You know what that is? Now he's got this Umar bug. He wants to fight everyone.
Oh, it's been a while. Good
Yeah.
timing, I like that.
Question on that midweek card as well from Dan Frost, which has just came in. Shout out Dan Frost, who everyone is saying has got the longest thumb they've ever seen. Hold on, let me.
That may be the weirdest comment we've ever
Hold
had.
on,
Here.
let me show you the thumb. So obviously I was in Boxing Monthly, and Dan took a little video as a laugh, just him reading the article, and he gives it a thumbs up. Wait till I show you the length of the guy's thumb. It looks like he lost a thumb in like a lawnmower incident, and they replaced it with
With a
someone
middle
else's
finger.
index finger. Hold on, here we go. Come on, thumb. This one's for you, Dan.
Why is it
Oh, we're
not
going to be
playing?
we're buffering.
We're
on the
buffering.
podcast.
There you go. Look. Hold on, it's coming on now.
Jesus, why aren't you on the Wi-Fi, man? Your phone's dog shit.
I don't want to take the piss out of
If anyone's missing
Boxing
this,
Monthly actually
I'm
put
gonna,
it up.
I'm going to put
No.
this on my Instagram, so if anyone actually wants to watch a video of the long thumb,
Yeah, put it on yours, Rich.
This is terrible. We
no,
can't
I was
do
going
it.
to record you putting it on.
This is very strange now.
I
We're
can't
now
get it on.
recording
It's
people's
over.
phones
It's
about
over.
a man's thumb. What is happening?
Shout out to Dan Frost's thumb. I don't know if it's both thumbs. One might be
Can we just have his question, please?
one might be longer than the other. They normally are. Talented Rio 2016 gold medalist Danny Aryalusinov makes his UK debut at York Hall on Wednesday. Early days, but his decorated amateur record suggests he could be a multi-weight pro champion. Your thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, he definitely could.
Brilliant. Rich?
Yeah.
I was making a Pims, man.
Pass me the Pims. Yulusinov is an incredible talent. I thought he looked very good on his debut. He got a bit of stick.
I know,
for
weirdly. Got a bit
taking
of
the guy
stick.
3 rounds. I thought he looked brilliant. Good to see him in the UK. And
At the world famous York Hall.
I think
Mitchell, it gets Mitchell Preedy and Danny Yulusinov in the space of 8 days.
that's mental, isn't it?
Or 6 days even.
That is mad.
Amazing.
But I think the thing with him is he's getting on a bit. He's not old, but he's getting on. He's 27, 28 soon, I believe.
So he'll be rushed, won't he? He'll be fast tracked.
He said he wants to win a world title in his first 18 months. Not unachievable, as we've seen recently. But I think it's good, and I think obviously with Hearn looking after him and with the DAZN deal and whatever else, it'll be good to try and get him in the mix. He just has to face a real step up in class, doesn't he? If you want to achieve that in 18 months, you have to start fighting some top guys soon. So it'll be interesting to see how he progresses, but massive amateur career. If you want to read my feature with Mr. Yulusinov, you can find it on fighttalk.net. Interesting about his background in Kazakhstan and stuff like that as well. And he seems like someone who's just constantly put the work in and tried to make himself better. So good to see him in York Hall. Don't really know if the fight's got any relevance, but yeah, I think he could definitely be a world champion. Multi-weight, maybe, but he does have to put his foot on the gas a little bit.
Couple more questions. We've had one question sent in twice, worded differently. Basically, Martin and Paul Altai sent in a very, very similar question. It was regards to the weight of Jamie McDonnell
Oh,
and the hypocrisy of Hearn on the matter. You know, he said that the comparison between Quigg, basically, Quigg got slated, didn't he? When Quigg came in heavy,
well, Quigg missed the weight, McDonald never, so that's the difference.
I guess that is the difference. But is it unfair that the fans kind of got on Quigg more? Do you know what I think? As boxing fans, we're hypocrites, because if we like a guy, we kind of let him do things. But if it's a guy we're not too, he's like a Scott Quigg, who no one really cares about. Scott Quigg
Or a Paul Butler.
or a Paul Butler, yeah. You jump on their back, and because they're Joe Gallagher fighters, well, he's not anymore Quigg, but he was. But a lot of Gallagher fighters miss weights,
Yeah.
so you kind of get on them more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's anything to do with it.
I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest factor that separates him is McDonald made weight. Richie's just took his fucking trousers off. I don't know what's going on. He's wearing Sundico cycling shorts and his little pieces just floating about, man. McDonald never missed weight. He made weight. So it's easy to get on someone's back when they do not make weight.
Martin's exact words were Hearn said that look at the abuse Quigg got when he missed weight, so let's not. Basically, McDonnell had to make that weight. And then Martin's question is, how the fuck is it the fans' fault that the boxers are trying to cheat the system and fight in an unnatural division?
They need to get, with the emergence of the Darren Till making weight video this week. Don't know if you've seen that, Rich.
I don't believe it's the same issue. We spoke about it the other day.
MMA fight?
No, but I mean, making weight.
In general, yes.
Generally
Yes.
speaking, with that video coming out,
Horrific.
that was fucking
It was up there with the
horrendous.
Cyborg one that came out a year ago.
Oh, it was awful, man.
Well,
It was bad.
I don't think boxers do it as extreme.
Yeah, they don't
extremely
have
as,
to. Yeah.
as the MMA
But do you know
fighters
why? Because in boxing, at the bottom, there are weight classes every 4 to 6 pounds, or 4 pounds, and then in MMA, there can be as much as
Yeah,
£20
big steps.
between weight classes.
25.
Middleweight 185, light heavy 205 in boxing, right? That's 20 in MMA. Sorry, that's a stone and £6 between weight classes.
And
Mental.
that's your next weight class.
Yeah, so you don't have a choice. You have to make the weight. You have to cut.
And if you just miss 185, you could be fighting a guy who legitimately, say you're 190, you just can't get down below 190. You'll end up fighting a guy who cuts down from 240
Yeah.
to make 205.
Darren Till's case, he wanted to make 170. Didn't make it eventually. He made 173. But the weight class above him is 185. That's £15 difference. So I don't know why boxers feel the need to do this. There's 118 he made, right? 118 pounds.
Yeah.
Was that bantam?
Yeah.
What's super bantam? 122.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's get a grip, man. £4. Just go up a weight class, you prick.
And he came in on the day weighing 144 or 142
142,
or
yeah.
144. That's fucking mental.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 2.5 stone he's put on overnight. And he gets
Unreal.
blasted away in the first round. I love Jay McDonnell. He takes fights that people wouldn't take. But we can't look at that performance and accurately assess where he is as a fighter when you're putting on 2.5 stone in a day.
Mental.
Richie Gray's put on 1 stone eating Haribo today during this fucking podcast, but that's
Listen, you'll know about Haribo's strawberries.
Straubs,
The
mate.
giant-
Straubs.
The giant straws, you know, the texture, the flavours, it's just so nice.
Shout out Haribo.
Shout out Haribo.
Yeah, it's mad. I think.
Do, 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 do.
Take it back.
Fuck Rocky.
Oh, why do you hate Rocky so much?
Do you know what?
Come on to it at the end. Let's finish on why you hate Rocky so much.
No, but we want to finish on... Alright, we'll finish on why I dislike Rocky, but we want to talk about what's happening with us as well.
No, we will. I've just been like, let's come back to your hate
So
for
shut
Rocky.
up about Rocky. Alright,
We're
we'll
not finished
come back
yet.
to your hate on Umar then, yeah? Alright. Shut a man
Happily.
down when he's ranting. Jesus.
I've got another 11 minutes for that cunt.
Whoa, couple more questions. Pulling the punch. Thoughts on Roxana Begum having a rematch with the Bulgarian Beast? Based on the performance from the Ismail Salah stable, has he lost something since he left Linares or let Linares go?
He lost on Ares.
But you know what he's saying. Don't be fucking pedantic. Was Linares his jewel and his crown?
No.
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 Of his current fucking stable.
Oh, we're talking current stable or
current.
legacy?
No,
defining?
no, not legacy. Listen, we know what that man's done.
Yeah.
I'm talking about current stable. The cunt's got Roxana Begum. She looks like a bad imitation of a white collar boxer.
Is she the worst fighter you've seen on a televised show?
She's up there. 100% she's up there.
Like, she is horribly bad, man.
Yeah. To make television, she drew with that girl that was chain smoking outside before she went
Eating
in
a
and had
burger?
this fight. That's the rumour. Had a burger and was chain smoking. And now the rematch has been fucking...
I never knew that. I never knew they were actually...
They're rematching it. I was going through the show the other day because the show is in 13 days. Hasn't sort of officially been announced who Joe Joyce is fighting, although we've kind of known for 3 weeks? Mr. the big jock.
Oh, Gary Cornish.
You're a fucking mate.
Gary.
I mean, I don't know if that's official.
Fucking meat.
Yeah, I don't know if that's official, but that's what we've been hearing for about 3 weeks.
Yeah. Roxana Begum is horrendous.
How is she on telly, man?
But how is Ismail Salah? Like, for me, the only thing he's losing every time he goes out with his stable is credibility, man.
Yep.
Like, I get that you're tied to the Hay stable. Guess what? The Hay thing never worked out. The Willie Hutchison thing never worked out. Roxana Begum thing's not working out. Stick with Joe Joyce if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Stick with Joe Joyce, cool. He might win a world title. Or he might fight for a world title.
Is Michael Venom Page still in their gym?
I see him in the cage the other day.
Yeah, he was fighting in the cage, but he's fighting on that card. Is he not?
Yeah, he's fighting on that card now. Boxing on that card.
So he's just plodding around doing what he wants.
He's just a prospect in 2 sports at 30 years old, is what he is.
He's a prospect in 1 sport, and he's a ticket seller in the other sport.
Yeah, sorry. Rob Tebbett is actually ringing me right now. Should we pause it and see what Rob has to say?
Let's just put him on. Rob.
Hello, mate.
You're on the podcast, mate. What's happening? Say hello to the Fight Talk fans.
I'm on the podcast. Oh, hello, everybody.
What you? What?
Hello.
That was a very, very sexually endearing hello there. What's happening?
Oh, I was all prepared for my sex talk with Sam. So I'm going to have to take off my suspenders and retract my heavy breathing.
What's up? Rob, we're going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Has Ismail Salas lost credibility with his continuing involvement with the Haymaker stable?
No. Man's got to eat, right?
Straight up, man's got to eat.
We literally spent about 5 minutes praising you as a journalist and how you're really intelligent and really smart and always speak really well. And your answer to the question was, man's got to eat.
Sam.
A man's got to eat. But, I don't know. No, I don't think so. It would have been, I think the credibility obviously comes into play when you're talking about Linares Lomachenko as opposed to Hey Bellew. But with that, I mean, again, David Hay's paying, he's there because David Hay brings in more money. At the end of the day, as everybody knows, everything in boxing is money. So, no, it's just one of those things. I mean, I think it's easy to sort of take that angle at him when considering, David Hay would have likely been paid 3-4 times as much, probably more, than Jorge Linares was being paid to fight Vasyl Lomachenko.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think so. Particularly somebody like Salas. He's not like a flash in the pan trainer who's just done this on a whim. He's been around the sport and showed his sort of integrity in various other instances throughout a career that's been, 30 years in boxing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so.
Thank you very much. Rob, we're going to call you back when we're done, mate.
Okay, mate, cool.
Thank you
Great.
for the input.
Well, I hope it was of some assistance.
You are wonderful. Roxana Begum is in his stable, which kind of... I do judge Mr. Salas by having Roxana Begum in the stable, I'll be honest. But time will tell. Maybe she'll be a world champion yet.
Tebbett.
He doesn't pick who goes into the stable. He's just the trainer. So,
Yeah.
when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you Roxana Begum, try and make somebody who can fight. I don't know. Yeah.
Expert analysis there, Rob. Beautiful.
Boxing-social.com, Boxing Social, Rob Tebbett. Check out his work. My friend, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, mate. Thanks.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
So you just answered Sam's phone and just acted upon it as if it was your own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how we run.
That's the kind of relationship we have.
Man's got to eat, fam. As Rob Tebbett.
Man's got to eat.
Man's
The
got
least
to eat.
Rob Tebbett phrase.
I feel like we missed out on asking if he knew what that theme tune was, though.
He'll know.
He would know.
Anyone that's ever watched boxing ever will know.
You're the only person.
I don't even watch
I
boxing.
despise 90% of boxing films. That's the truth. I don't feel like they ever do it justice. I'm going to rant now. I don't feel they ever do it justice. The fights are dreadful. The Rocky story, phenomenal. It makes perfect. I would have preferred the film if they didn't show the fight scenes. That's the truth.
Are you trying to tell me that Rocky against Ivan Drago was unrealistic? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what you're trying to say right
you're
now?
Right, yeah, my bad.
What, 19 knockdowns in round 1? That's not realistic.
That's my issue with boxing films.
His whole head spins around like a fucking owl. And you're trying to tell me
It's the noise, the sound effects. It's like a Batman from the 80s.
Cut me, Mick! Cut me!
The only thing missing is a kapow coming up as they do it. It does my head in.
Apollo Creed died for that, mate. Alright?
That was
Fuck's sake.
throw in the damn towel. That's a great scene.
That impression's fucking brilliant.
That was a great scene, but yeah, not a fan of boxing movies in general. That's my.
What other boxing movies can we talk about?
I think we've done them all. I liked Vinny
I
Pad's
think,
one.
that's my favourite. One of my favourites.
Leave for this.
The fight on Mickey Ward.
Southpaw's a good story, but the boxing's the worst.
Bit cheesy, innit?
Horrific, man.
That's
Hollywood.
the worst one.
That's the only film, honestly. I turned off. I promise you, I turned
The
it off.
film's
I
good.
was like, can't
The
watch it.
story's good, but the boxing.
What about, I've got two for you. What about Hurricane? Denzel?
Denzel about the
Ruben Carter?
Ruben Carter, yes.
The
Very
fighter's
good.
got the best
How many fight
boxing.
scenes were in that? Minimal, if any, to my memory.
There was a few in jail, I think.
It was when he got stopped of it, but yeah, I remember it.
What about Ali with Will Smith?
Never watched it.
I was
Oh,
so
what about the original? That was
disappointed,
even
man.
better.
What one?
That was good.
What, the original fighter?
The
Ali?
original,
He was alright.
the original Ali movie.
What one's that?
I can't remember the actor's name. He's from Boys in the Hood.
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen
He
it.
does one.
Okay.
Much better version.
Oh, I wish so.
He's jabbing, he's shuffling.
I watched two more for you. Seeing as we're now doing movie reviews.
Yeah.
Jawbone.
Jawbone.
I watched that.
You loved Do you remember this?
Jawbone.
So he was on the. I was in the car and he was telling me and the missus we got to watch Jawbone, and he was doing his dodgy accent. He was going Jawbone. I was like, what is job on? He's going Jawbone. I'm saying, what's Jawbone? Like what? Jawbone, man.
Jawbone's good.
It's alright.
And
Haven't seen The Journeyman.
I went to see Johnny and Paddy Considine, man.
I want to see that.
Jesus Christ. That is an emotional
The boxing
fucking
scenes in the film The
rollercoaster.
Fighter, though, are actually not bad. Mark Wahlberg can box.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he used to, didn't he?
He looks like a
I'm
bit
sure
of
he did
Southern
Gold
area.
Club. If he was from Chelmsford instead of like Brooklyn or wherever he's from.
So anyone else has got any boxing films, please send them in and we will review them. Take it back.
2 more questions just came in, for fuck's sake.
This is Question City in here.
I did beg for
It's
some.
good, to be honest, because we've had nothing else to talk about.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah.
Do you know what, man? We are in Sam's conservatory.
Yes.
And it is like a fucking greenhouse in here.
Smells a
innit?
bit frowsy
It's
in there
like
as well.
greenhouse,
now.
Me,
because
probably,
it is
man.
a greenhouse.
You got, where's that deodorant?
Yeah,
Could be
I've
the
got
smell
some.
of the 18 miles I did on the bike.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. This has been a little bit of carnage, this podcast, hasn't it? It's
It's a
been...
bit all over the gaff.
But we haven't really
I
had
don't
anything
think
to
we
talk
should use
about.
that because I feel like it makes the room smell masculine. You know, more testosterone flowing about. Makes the podcast a bit more manly.
I mean, we changed tyres last night. Today we're stinking the gaff out
Do
with
you know what I mean?
men.
Proper fucking raw
Proper.
dinosaur.
While we
With
drink
freezing
Pims with
geezers.
mint and cucumber.
Oh,
I'm
so...
no part of that, by the way.
You had your fruity cider, mate. Just don't judge. Discuss yard
Protein cider. Protein cider.
James Lupton round 8. Why is he sending questions? He doesn't listen.
He doesn't care.
Discuss Yard vs Buatsi. What other fights of this type could be made?
Buatsi fucks Yard up.
Disagree.
Do you?
We don't know if Yard can take a punch yet. We
Do you
don't.
disagree?
Yeah, because
I think
we don't know yet. We don't. Anthony Yard hasn't been a meaningful 50-50 fight yet, so I don't think we know.
No, I don't really care.
Okay.
I think the fight won't happen. Frank Warren and Tunde Ajayi will never let it happen because they're building Yard into a brand. So, but I think Buatsi would batter him for what it's worth.
Oh, wow. I believe that's a strong statement.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not really a stranger to strong statements.
Really? But you were sitting on the fence with your opinions on Umar Ahmed earlier.
Anyway, forget him.
Okay.
You know who I don't mind? I don't mind that wingy boxing guy.
No, I like that guy.
He's alright.
Do you know what I like about him? He's been around a long time. He's done his own thing.
Yeah.
And IFL have given him a shot doing interviews. He ain't a bad interviewer.
I don't mind, and he travels for it. He goes all over the place to get interviews. I think Declan Taylor that does stuff for them in America.
Never really
is
watched much of
fucking
him.
brilliant.
I think he did some Scotland ones before.
When he was in New York for the DAZN announcement, it was that Declan Taylor that was in the back of the cab with him, in the back of the Uber, and he was asking good fucking technical questions about how the whole thing would work. He's very good.
See, people can say that we just don't like IFL. It's not true.
No.
It's not true at all. I don't like an interviewer that is pure lazy. You don't do your research on the like that Curtis Felix one. He's got a brother that boxes. He's out of Hammersmith Gym with Barry. He also isn't from London. He's from I said this before. It's either Bedford or Northampton. Yeah. So he boxed between there and York Hall. There's a hell of a lot to talk about if you're interested and care.
But you haven't done your work. Anyway, I don't want to say any more about that guy.
Okay. There's only really 2 more questions.
Is there?
Yeah, we blitzed through them. There's a few questions regarding Joshua Wilder.
Yeah. Joshua Wilder, let's do a few questions on them.
First question, Martin Theobald, Joshua Wilder. If it doesn't come off in 2018, where does each of you lay the blame?
Heron.
It's just turn.
Well, I think there's obviously a model in place for the fight to be made, but by saying it's UK or nowhere, you've then shut down other avenues. So you have to look at that and go, if there was 4 different locations being mooted for the fight, and Hearn shuts 3 down and says UK or nowhere, and it doesn't happen because of that, that stumbling block was put in place by Eddie Hearn. or AJ Boxing or whoever is responsible for that decision. But I think that decision could prove key in the fight not happening.
Whose question was that?
That was from Martin from the New Age Boxing podcast.
Didn't they put on their podcast the other week that they believe their thoughts are that no one in this side of the water thinks that AJ is even going to win that fight, so they're going to put whatever they can in the way so that fight doesn't happen.
I can't remember the exact wording of it.
I can't remember the exact wording, but I feel like that's what they were getting at the time, that no one here believes he can win it. So for them to go and put their man in a fight for only X amount of money isn't worth it, whereas over the long period of time they could have made more money. So basically it's a fear of AJ actually losing the fight. I don't think that he can win.
Yeah.
So Eddie Hearn's is not putting stumbling blocks, he's putting stop signs. He's putting a stop on it. Like,
the biggest problem with it is you
so
can't have
at the end of AJ's career when they think that matter if he loses now, I've made millions, and they've got someone else now to replace him.
You can't sit there and go, give me 50 million and I'll take it. Like in a flippant remark, and then they go, okay, thanks, here you go, here's 50 million. And you go, oh wait, I mean, 50 million plus, we want it. It doesn't work like that. You can't.
And I never thought it was. People gave Eddie Hearn a hard time for saying, I want to see proof of funds or whatever else. I'm happy with that. That's cool. If you want to see proof of funds, that's cool. But to then start adding all these extra little bits in, it just doesn't look good. And even if they're all being added in for the right reasons, and even if they genuinely do want the fight and believe they can win the fight, they've been put in an awkward position by Wilder and Finkel and whoever else by having to try and remove those little things. So
AJ's got more to lose out of this fight than Wilder.
Yeah, I think so.
Wilder's not even famous in America.
No,
he's not famous, and he's got more money than me, but he's not a millionaire. I don't think he's a millionaire in the standard.
I'd say he might just be. He's not an AJ money.
Quid, but he's not AJ money. He's not AJ star.
AJ's probably making 8 to 10 million a fight. Would you say?
AJ is definitely AJ is the A side in this. No matter. Yes, Wilder has everything to say. Listen, I've got a title. I'm knocking people out. I've won more. Yeah, whatever. You're just not as popular. Get over it. It is what it is. So
now it's up to Joshua's team to make a correct offer to get him over.
Because they've sent the offer.
They need us more than we need them, if you like.
I don't know. Their dream is to be undisputed, right? That's Joshua's dream. He said that many times.
It's not hard to achieve it then. If both teams are communicating, which apparently according to Eddie Hearn, both teams are communicating and they're sending offers back and forward, you can make that happen if that's really what you want. And if what's your dream? Is your dream to be undisputed?
Where would you have it? Where do you think is best?
I'd maybe have it Madison Square or Vegas or Wembley.
What about a 2-fight deal with one here, one there?
But that's what they're going to do.
There will be.
That's what they're going to do. But they're saying that UK has to be first. Why?
I don't know. I like Vegas. If it's that much of a big fight,
I like Vegas.
Yeah,
I'm happy with Vegas. Madison Square's like historic in it, so I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Wembley. Like, I don't really.
Brentwood Centre,
Richie Gray on the undercard.
Listen, I'd be happy with Vegas for that. If it's as big a fight as they're talking, it is the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing. Why not?
I'm bored of talking about it.
I'm getting bored.
I'm getting to the place I got when it was talking about Fury before he'd come back. You know what I mean?
It's going to be the Pacquiao Mayweather thing, isn't it?
In
35 years, they're going to fight.
I don't know. It's boring me, to be honest with you guys. The honest truth, it's boring me. 2 questions on the World Boxing Super Series bantamweights. Jamie Ingleby and Lou Smith both asked basically who are your favourites for the tournament going on recent performances. Can you look past Inoue? If he is actually, in fact, in it. I don't think that's been 100% confirmed. I think
it's hard for me to really judge where he is as a fighter at that weight, because he's obviously tremendously gifted, man. But that was his first fight at that weight against a guy who we mentioned previously in the podcast has had to starve himself and put himself through horrible things to make the weight. So, I mean, it was a devastating performance, but does it mean he beats Burnett and Tete and those guys? I don't know, man. I don't know. It could do. It could be fucking special, and whoever wins that tournament.
What about Rodriguez? Is it Rodriguez?
Listen, man, he's good.
He's very good.
He is good.
He butchered Butler.
Yeah.
Butchered him.
But again, we can't be hypocrites. We have to look at the Butler thing and see Butler was doing the same thing, trying to make weight.
Yeah.
Butler was putting himself through that to make weight as well, so it would be unfair for us to judge one guy for it and not the other. So Rodriguez looks good. For me, I think we'll be disappointed by Ryan Burnett.
Do you?
I think Ryan Burnett takes too much damage.
His new style that is very Josh Kelly-esque may not work against Tetes and Inues.
Like facially, he's always taking like serious damage. He had issues early on in his career when he was turning pro about scans or whatever else, which were kind of proved to not be as bad as they thought. So I worry about him because he always gets hit. He always gets hit, man. Even against Zakianov, his face was bashed up. So I do worry about that. Tete is a bit of a mystery man, isn't he? Knocked a guy out in 11 seconds, but who was the guy really? He's very good, very talented, but he's a bit of a mystery because he's either been under promoted before he was with Warren, or he's not really fought anyone of any substance since he's been with Warren. So he's a mystery. So it's a great lineup, fantastic lineup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Inoue in it. To be honest,
yeah,
he's the guy that stands out for me. What was that last question? You had one more question come in. Small Hall, something about a boxer.
Kind of double-edged question from Portobello PR's own Jordan Foster, who we had the pleasure of hanging out with last night. Great guy, good to see him. He asked a kind of double-pronged question, if you like. First one was, who is the most underrated, was it? Small Hall prospect?
Underrated, underappreciated, something like that.
Hold on, I've got it. Holding. Who's the most Who's the most underappreciated small hall talent?
Alright, let's think of ones that we don't rave about then, because we rave about a lot of boys.
Yeah.
Who are there that we don't maybe give props to, that when you actually think about him, he's a good boy? Bobby Woods I like. He's 1-0 and then had a bad hand surgery.
Yep.
It's a long time for after a debut to be out as well. But after one fight, can you really appreciate? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you can really say that.
But I think it's not about us appreciating them. It's about like general boxing public.
General boxing, Dion Juma.
Yeah. I was going to go Danny Darko.
Yeah, Danny Darko.
Underappreciated. Dion Juma. I don't know if he's underappreciated.
It's hard to say what underappreciated is, because if you're not following him intently, some of these boys might be very appreciated by the people that have around them. Someone selling 300 tickets, they all think he's a nuts, but then just because they're selling 100 tickets, you guys might think, he's... And it just can sway it a little bit, I think.
Who's, your opinion, Rich, who's the most talented folk on the spot?
It's hard to say who's the most talented in it, because different weights match different styles.
I know, that's why I'm asking you, mate. I want to ask you an easy one.
You know who I was impressed with? Kieran Conway, is that his name? He was on one of the MTK shows. I think he's 7 or 8-0 now. He's got 5 knockouts or something.
He's underappreciated because I don't know.
Mitch Frierson?
He's had a debut. 1-0, had a debut. It's hard to.
It is hard.
Like guys that are 1-0 or 2-0.
You won't be appreciating them.
Can he
anyway.
be underappreciated?
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know, man.
Very true.
I don't know.
Hard question, but obviously we've got our usual guys that we run through on all the small halls: the Dan Aziz, Dino
probably
Richards,
me,
Linus, Richie.
You're appreciated, Rich. We
Brad
appreciate
Pauls.
you, mate.
Guys.
And his other question was, what is the best and worst small hall show you've been to? I think we kind of covered the best for us was Mackenzie Render's show.
Zero doubt.
Worst?
Just had a new contender come up, didn't you, for the worst?
Yeah,
that's up there.
That might be the worst, or the last Dove box that I went to at York Hall might be the worst.
Dove box gets so much stick. I was on his first 2 and they weren't even that bad.
I know, well, I said earlier on, Crystal Palace was good. Crystal Palace show was good.
Where is he? How many shows did he do? Like 4 in the end?
5, I think.
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
But that last one was absolute shit, man.
I went to one Elliott show.
They're shit.
Really, really, really bad.
I actually went to an Elliott show once to watch Davis Pagan and Arthur Herman box. Arthur was the main event. I think that was against Byfield. Davis was on about 3rd or 4th.
That's a good fight, isn't it, Herman and Byfield?
I watched Davis, tried to hang around to watch Arthur, who's my teammate and everything, got so bored I couldn't handle it anymore, went home. Couldn't even hang
That's
around.
pretty much what we did last night. We waited up to the main event and then went, I can't do it, I got to go.
The lure of the bagels was too much.
Yeah, let's get bagels in us, yeah.
Last night was
It was bad.
down there with the worst.
It was. We're paying our dues. We're paying our dues. We're representing from the ground up. by going
That's
to
the
that
underground, that's
that
right.
level.
Less than ground.
The only media there. There's a
Scraping
reason.
the bottom of the
There's a
barrel.
reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, it was very.
There's no media. Come to our show, please. Give you tickets or give you food.
It's really strange, man.
Yeah. Let's finish up. We've been here a long time, and I'm fucking melting.
So warm in here.
Can you imagine you have to cycle 80 miles home as well after melting in this fucking sweat box?
Good luck with that. Lewis Smith wants to know. This is the end. Tell us about what's happening. You got any dates set, Richie, for your next fight? What's the plans for you? So yeah, sum up what's happening with you, when you could be back. His actual wording was, who is excited for the return of the one and only Brentwood famous Richie Gray. So yeah, what's the crack? What's the deal?
Probably no
What's
one's
the
more
dates?
excited than Lewis, because Lou's one of my top boys. Do you know what? I actually had a meeting with Al about it pretty much yesterday or the day before, kind of both days. I'm trying to get 3 fights in before the end of the year. There's a Goodwin show and 2, I think they're 2 MTK shows. It might be 2 Goodwin, 1 MTK, but I'm hoping to get 3 fights out before the end of the year. One in September, October and November. Possibly move November to December, because I've got September, which is sort of the 15th, I think.
Good one.
I think so. It's not confirmed yet, so probably shouldn't even be saying it, but
No,
May or may
fighters have said they're on them cards.
yeah, so
They're doing the 8th and the 15th, I believe.
Then there's another one on the 28th of October, which is 6 weeks after, 5 weeks after. Then the next one after that, which is the November, is early November. It's only about 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. I'm hoping to get on that as well.
Is there a chance that you fight Dwayne Grant on a serious note in any of those fights? Is that something you're looking at?
Do you know what? Potentially, when it happened, I said I didn't really care about it. I still don't really care. I don't think I need it. I actually put it on Instagram the other day just for fun to see what it is. I don't think many people really care. I don't think people actually care. Some people, I think it was like 60% said they don't really care, 40% said yeah, I think it's entertaining, but I think people are like, yeah, it was good to watch, but sometimes things
Whether it needs to be done again or not.
I don't think it needs to be done again. I'm not like, I want revenge and I don't care.
Problem is, you two have become quite fucking friendly
we're
and
mates,
pally
aren't
now.
we? We're fucking mates. Listen, maybe, if, why not?
But it's not something that's playing on your mind
Nah,
that you
not
have to
really. Nah.
scratch it.
Nah, I think if it was there was 2 or 3 of us, and if it was a Southern area sort of circle of fighters, I'd lost to one of the boys that was within that circle. Tay's the champion. There's a couple of other boys floating about. If I'd lost to one of them, I could either fight one of the others to get myself back in position, or fight them again. I think yeah, it's worth it. But what do I achieve out of fighting them again?
Yeah.
What do I actually gain out of it? Nothing really.
So out of those 3 fights you're hoping to have, do you think any of them will be against possible fellow contenders? Or
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'd fight contender straight away in the next one. The right contender. Here you go. Anyone from super welter, even up to super middleweight, for the right opponent, I'd fight anyone in any of them divisions. If you want it, pick up the phone, ring up Alec Wilkie, because I want to fight contenders now. The problem is a lot of fighters don't want to fight contenders. Alec Wilkie might want me to have one warm-up fight just before I step into them fights, but if the right phone call came through, I'd fight anyone from super welter to super middle. There are super middles out there I would I'd wipe the floor with. Same with super welter. I'd have to making the weight would be harder, but I need a little bit more time, but I think I could do it.
0 fucks given by Richie Greyweather.
Super welter to super middle. Come at me.
Any
If you want to fucking race, get your fucking bike out and we'll have it.
he does love a bike.
He does love a bike.
The issues that were kind of keeping you out the ring and stuff, all done and dusted, and you're good to go.
Everything's absolutely sorted now, ready to go. Just the only issue now, the fucking problem getting in my way is that I've got to get married, don't I?
Oh,
For fuck's sake.
Well out of order.
when you get married?
The 6th of July.
Shit, man.
Not long, about 4 weeks.
You do the podcast on the 7th, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be here. Oh, what I'll do is I'll swim here back from Turkey.
Or rogue, get a little boat or
So
something.
yeah, 3 fights before the end of the year. I'll probably have to have a warm-up one, but if the right phone call come, I'll take that. And then I'll fight 2 contenders if it came along. And then, I don't know, let's see what's happening. Super welter, southern area, middleweight, super middleweight, challenge belt, I don't care. I don't even care about the belts, I just want to have real fights.
Yep.
What's more important to you? If you see someone that's had 15 fights, I'm sure I'll text this in as a question. Would you rather see someone who's had 15 fights or 20 fights against 19 journeymen, won an area title on their 20th against the only contender in their box, which was against someone else who was a journeyman beater, or would you rather see two fighters, 15-3, 17-4? They've been in some real battles. You know what they've got. You've seen them both tested. You know what they've got. You know what they bring to the table. And them two fight. Or would you rather see two undefeated journeyman beaters? What?
I guess it depends when I got on board with each of their careers, right? So I know who you're talking about.
This is no. This isn't people. No, this is just in general.
No, I'm talking about people.
You're talking about people.
So
yeah,
you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't have to watch the first 18 fights against nobody.
This works well because that fight plus Leon McKenzie and Celerendo, they both had a lot less in their record.
Yeah.
So would you watch that fight, or would you rather watch Matt against Billy Bird?
But I know people who.
But Billy Bird and Matt was a wicked fight.
It was a good
I know
fight.
people who didn't turn up at Celerendo and Leo McKenzie because they thought it's a fucking load of shit. I know folk that was never supposed to be as good as it was. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. It kind of furthers your point.
So
you don't know.
The records don't mean shit.
don't
do
know,
they?
man.
The records don't mean shit. Don't mean
but knowing when two fighters have been tried and tested, does it not think? Oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
At any point in Leon's career, did you ever look at him and think, he's weak? You didn't think that. Did you ever think that about Celerendo? So you know they've both got something inside them. Whereas Bill and Matt, Billy and Lee were both relatively untested and untried.
Yeah.
So you think you don't really know.
Maybe we got lucky that was a good fight. Maybe.
But I think obviously everyone kind of peaks at a different time. But now, if you're Matt or if you're Billy, now what you can't do is you can't now start just stringing together more journeymen because you're past that level now. So take your time getting to where you need to get to. If you retain your fans,
Alec Wilkie's been telling me that for a long time. I've been asking for a Southern Area title since like my fourth fight.
And he says you can't go back.
He said, "What's the point?" He said, "Because if you win it, who are you going to fight next?" He said, "You've got to fight everyone after that. As soon as you've won that, there's no going back." He said, "You're only moving forward." He said, "So when you're comfortably knocking out 10, 12 rounds, and you can easily get through the rounds, and we know, okay, we've got 10, 15 options of opponents to fight, and we'll beat, 10 of the 15, 12 of the 15, that's when you're ready." He said, at the minute, where you think every fight above that is 50-50 fight, and you're not really sure,
it's risky to start doing that when you're 6-0, 6-1,
Yeah.
then having all 50-50s, but
it depends what you want out of your career. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to get too far into it without boxing contenders. Everyone wants their career to go a different way. I'd rather be remembered to be exciting, entertaining fights than have 15. You could have 12, 13, 14 journeymen, then get an injury and your career's over anyway.
Yeah.
And you never actually boxed anyone, ever.
And I think if people are wise to how boxing works, you can lose fans by doing that as well.
You've
you
got
lose
to realise that it can
interest.
be taken away any day.
Yeah.
Any day. So if you don't even show interest to fighting contenders, why the fuck are you wasting yourself and everyone else's time?
Exactly. Thank you, Lou Smith, for the questions.
Do-do-do-do.
Take it back.
Do-do-do-do. People and they say, take it back. Take it
this
back.
is really boring with you fucking idiots singing constantly.
Oh, sorry.
So bitter because
Sorry,
you
you
don't
don't
know
like
it.
cinematic history. Right. Break it down for us, mate. Why do you hate... What were you going to do?
I said it, didn't I? Why I hate boxing films. They're too
Rocky
unrealistic.
specifically.
No, Rocky specifically. You've got strong feelings about Rocky.
75% of people listen to this only box because of Rocky.
The Rocky story, exceptional. It's a great idea for a movie. Would have much preferred it if we just didn't show the fight scenes, to be honest. The kapow and the head kadoosh.
So what about
Kapow!
Southpaw? That's just as bad.
Didn't watch it all the way through. Turned it off.
Alright,
Don't
what
like
about Bleed
boxing.
for this?
Excellent.
Alright, what about Raging Bull?
Can we stop
Yeah,
this?
but none of them have got good fight scenes in them.
So
So what's the difference then?
people fucking jizz all over Rocky. People put their people have Rocky music on.
Oh, so you're just a hater. Oh,
What am I a hater of? You asked me.
Rocky.
because everyone loves it, you hate it.
The geezer can barely talk. For fuck's sake, yeah, we're all over this geezer. No, man, it's overrated, that film. Rocky,
Fight Film podcast.
Rocky is overrated.
If anything, his voice is realistic of a career in those kind of
If
fights.
he had that kind of fights, then luckily he can still speak.
He was talking like before his fucking fight.
Do you know the best? Who's your favourite Rocky character, Richie?
Ah,
I'll tell you.
Tommy Morrison.
No, my favourite, not far away, George Washington Duke. I'll make you so much money
That's
you can
Don
swim
King,
in
innit?
it. You can swim, can't you, darling? Fucking brilliant. Touch me and I'll sue. Fucking brilliant, man. He's a great
That had
character.
to be their adaptation on Don King, innit?
Yeah, oh, big
oh
time.
come on.
Big
Yeah,
time.
definitely, definitely.
Touch me and I'll sue. Rocky goes, sue me for what? He just digs him with a fucking uppercut to the body and puts him in a car bonnet. Brilliant.
Yeah, perfect.
So
Fucking
nice.
stupid film.
So nice.
I just wanted to finish up talking about what you and me have been doing. Your article, my new series.
Yes. Your new series was fucking good.
My new series, obviously we touched on it before, what I was going to be doing. So I'm now getting away from the generic interviewing fighters before fights type vibe. I will still do it if the guys ask me. Another question just come in. Fucking hell. I'll touch on that briefly after. But I want to get away from generic interviews beforehand of let's talk about your fight at camp. It's pretty dull. Guys ask me to do it sometimes to help shift tickets or something. I don't know if it helps or not, but I will gladly do that. No doubt, no problem.
Now shout out Adam Martin as well. Adam, you better fucking listen as well because she's got a shout out.
All right, that's
Just
quite an aggressive shout out.
Oh, do you know what the thing is? It's really nice, and I say mean things to him about him all the time. When I'm commentating, and he says, once he goes, "Won't you tell me how good looking I am?" And I was just really mean to him.
So the idea of my series, Under the Lights, is it's going to be they're in detail conversations with fighters from childhood to why into boxing to any problems they may have had outside the ring to just their stories. Like it doesn't. I want these interviews to be standalone pieces where it's not fight specific. You could watch it in 2 years and learn a bit about the fighter. So Paulie Upton one, we touched briefly on his Cheeseman fight next week, but most of it's about his time with Hatton and coming through with Boxing Brothers and just the basically just his life. I want to know a bit more about boxers, and I've got a couple good ones lined up that I'm really looking forward to doing. So yeah, if you get a chance to check them out, please do.
Definitely do. I would say watching it, it's like you said yourself, it's a standalone piece, so it's not when this camp's over or when that fight's done, there's no point in watching that video again.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch that video before every single one of his fights and go, oh fuck, that's who that guy is,
Yeah.
or that's how he got involved, or that's what it means to him, and it's that personal side of it, and Paulie was great as well because Paulie, he talks well, and he's got some experience. The way he was talking about how he kind of fell out with Hatton and how that all worked was, I wasn't expecting that sort of conversation to come about, but it was framed really nicely. And the best bit about it, and how, Richie, you probably agree with me, but the best, when you watch boxing interviews or when you watch stuff like that and pieces like that, for me, the key to watching one that's done really well is when the interviewer doesn't have to say much. Do you know what I mean? So if he does 80% of the talking and you do 20% of the talking, brilliant, because that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want to get those thought-provoking questions, and I think you've got that down to an art. You open up the conversation, you get people thinking about stuff. It's not just yes or no, or how do you feel about this, good or bad, or whatever else. There's a lot of thought and a lot of feeling behind it. So
yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I'm going to get better. I watched it back and I like it, and there's things I wish I'd have done better, changed, and that's going to come with time.
Yeah.
And the stories that I'm going to be hopefully bringing out are going to be some really fucking good stories, and just learning about boxers, man. The person behind the man who stands there selling tickets. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want. And then let's move on to your exceptional piece, published in magazines, in stores now, all good bookstores.
We made it, baby. Boxing Monthly June 2018 edition. You'll find my first piece for Boxing Monthly magazine. Always a pleasure, always a privilege writing stuff for outlets that have got a lot of respect and carry a lot of heritage in the sport. I tracked down the guy who levelled Floyd Mayweather's record of 50-0 in Thailand. Took a lot of fucking effort to find him and translate and get him to understand what we were doing and kind of get the answers we were looking for. So it was done over a period of different days, and it did take a lot of effort to kind of frame the quotes. But yeah, they put it in the magazine, which I'm thankful for. It means a lot more people can have a look at the work. And I did whatever I do, it's always fight talk anyway. It's always fight talk. If I write for someone else, or if I do a piece somewhere else, or if I go on another podcast, or I do a video somewhere else, the work will never ever stop from fight talk and putting stuff on the website. I've got 3 pieces to write up for the website as we speak, all feature interviews. Shout out Darryl Williams, shout out Josh Taylor, Sergey Lipinets, guys like that. So the work never stops for the website. It's just sometimes if you want to get paid or you want to do work and get paid for doing work, it's nice to dip in and out of different outlets. Richie Gray's playing a video while we're having a conversation. It's Martin Murray looking
Angry
sad.
Martin Murray.
So yeah, man, check out all the work by all the boys: Adam, James, Tom Humber, Fight Talk, Richie Gray. We're live, we're sweating. There's a weird scent in the air.
Very
this
weird
podcast
scent.
has been like a very unorganised.
I think it's been a good one though.
Too much singing for mine.
Not enough singing from you.
Yeah, exactly. Stop being so selfish.
Maybe pick a different genre of film.
Who completes it the fastest? Richie Gray doing a mini triathlon is option 1.
This is from Jamani Camaro, by the way.
Craig Scott drinking alternatively a litre of Iron Brew followed by a liquor of his choice.
He's off his nut.
Or Sam O'Reilly scoring once against Lerone Sniper the Boss Richards in FIFA.
He can't get near me on FIFA. I ruin him. Bless him.
Who completes that the quickest?
I mean, I'd say
I can neck a few, man.
you can neck a few
I can
liquors
drink,
and.
bro.
I'll be honest, I'm not really that good at triathlons. I just like them.
So me against Lerone on FIFA, or you down in 5. I'd say you could down 5 big bottles of Iron Brew before I score against.
I
Lerone.
think you win.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
I
going
went to the
you.
bar last night in York Hall and I was getting Jaeger bombs every round because I was so fucking bored. And the bar lady was like, "Do you not get bored just like drinking like every 15 minutes?" And I was like, "Look what's outside the bar." And on that note,
Yeah. This has been the first singing edition.
not everyone can get that high. Like that's
pretty game.
they call that falsetto. And as my pink shoes dry in the wind, peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace out, rabbit.